Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Judah, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. Now, I meant the house of Israel, sorry. We're Judah, but we're still in the house of Israel. We're still Israel. Oh boy, that kind of tells you what type of morning it's been for me. I'm running late. I'm sorry. When I do my building bridges, especially on Fridays. Friday mornings is going to be late. Unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be. Either I'll be running late or I may not show up. So just giving you that heads up. So I was trying to go through some things. I was trying to see what I wanted to put together. The title is supposed to be Understanding Calm During Conflict, but I can't even get my words right. My fingers are not cooperating with my brain. I think I got it right on the little thumbnail. I hope. You know, the rock was putting to me this morning, right? Peace be still. Peace be still. Because why? Because we're in the midst of this storm. We see the storm is passing over. We see folks are affected. And they're being affected. But the Most High was telling me, peace be still. So reason be, I woke up this morning. I said, thank you, Father. Then immediately I was just thinking about my job. And I'm like, why am I thinking about my job? And, something came to my mind. It's like, look, they should have been doing more projects than what was forecasted or scheduled. And it wasn't just me, but several people had noticed that the projects had either slowed down or they hadn't been kicked off, because once we get to the kickoff, then we can start moving the project along and start getting the revenue. But what's ended up happening is that these projects, what was basically booked last quarter, fourth quarter, third, fourth quarter, they're not really being worked on because there's a lot of people losing their jobs. They don't tell you that. And they don't want to tell you that for good reason. Because people get scared. Oh my goodness. But our jobs report says everything is good. The jobs report. If you didn't know, everything is tanking in this economy, and it's starting with and more, which is more visible. I'm going to say things more visible right now are the banks in the banking system. Doesn't mean that the rest of the sectors aren't getting hit. Matter of fact, it means that they are getting hit and they're getting hit tremendously hard. But they won't tell you that. Not until they have to, not until they have to report. Oh, yeah, by the way, they have to start reporting early April into next week. You'll start seeing projections of the first quarter. You'll start to see all the bad news. Because I was thinking about that. I said, Father, I said, I really hadn't been as busy as I thought that I was going to be. I mean, I'm up in here doing live streams and having folks on the panel for like 3, 4, 5 hours. These folks are asking, aren't you supposed to be working? I'm like, yeah, but my calendar is just light. So it's an opportunity for me to keep things moving. Hallelujah. So, so even today, boy, oh boy, oh boy, I want to center it around this theme: understanding calm during conflict. And we all have gone through it. That's when you are going through something, and the Ruach Hakodesh says, calm down. Peace. We get peace in the middle of the storm. We get peace in our environment. Let me go into this here. Thank you, Father, for this scripture. We'll talk about eschatology and things of that nature. I'm going to come here. Proverbs 8. Doth not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth up in the top of high places by the way, in the places of the paths. She crieth at the gates, at the entrance, or the entry of the city, and at the coming in at the doors. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O you simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. For I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things, for my mouth shall speak truth. And wickedness is abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward to perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. Do you see that? Do you understand? This is why our oppressors are dying. This is why they can't get things right. This is why they're going to be the byword of foolish. Because why? Because they don't know what to seek first. See, if we, as a people, we've known what to seek. We knew the treasure all along. This is what this awakening is. It's the understanding of knowledge. And this knowledge is what? It's more precious than rubies. Why? Because who cares about the things of gold and silver if your life is in a clear and present danger? Just because you don't see it yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I don't know. I don't see it. Isn't that what the wicked say? We just read that, Jeremiah 17. Matter of fact, we just went over that, Matthew chapter 10. The perverse generation, what? They look for signs. Jeremiah 17 acknowledges the same thing. Where's the Most High? Paraphrasing. Where's his works? But when you see the day of his works, the day of his wrath, guess what? You won't be asked about his works because his works will put you 6 feet under. Matter of fact, you won't even be 6 feet under. You'll just be trampled on. Your body will be like dung on the streets. Just imagine that. You just die. You can't even get buried. You just get trampled on. You're just a bone. You're just a relic. It's not even here lies such and such. It's just you get eaten by birds. This is why we've always been able to find out witty inventions. Why do you think they took us as a people? Because we understand wisdom. And that wisdom produces knowledge. And guess what that knowledge produces? The witty inventions. See, I had to speak to some people last night in the building bridges because, a lot of our people think, man, we're just going to go. We're going to have to flee, and then we're going to flee, and we're going to be living in grass huts. You said you're going to be living in grass huts. Well, that's what the folks on the continent do. They live in. Do you not understand that they have homes just like the homes we have? And some of those homes are constructed a whole lot better, being made out of cement via wood. It's like Florida homes. They make them out of CBX concrete, little cylinder blocks. The only thing that they really haven't done is really have a good understanding of framing and drywall. That's it. We're just going to have to teach them how to make it. Because why? Because then you put insulation there, then you put the wiring, then you do all the stuff. Remember, They didn't have all the things that we had. They didn't have all that understanding that we had. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna show them, hey, look, let's put this 4x4 here, whether it's metal or whether it's tree, lumber, show you how to drill these holes on out, show you how to run these cables through, and then we'll show you how to do drywall, and then we'll show you how to do crown molding, and then we'll show you how to put the baseboards on, and then we'll show you how to caulk. Basic building things. Let me show you how to run this plumbing. The only thing that they do in the walls is literally just run plumbing. Because why? Because they really haven't been shown anything else. Because who has shown them this? Well, white supremacy. Not the best when you're trying to construct something. But when you get to other parts of the world, oh, how is it that they use sheetrock? How is it that they know how to use plumbing? How is it that they know how to leverage, 4 inch to 2 inch to 1 inch to running things into your sink to running things into your toilet? How do they know about these returns? Well, because our people are plumbers, our people are carpenters, our people are electrical engineers. Because we dabble in it for wisdom's sake. So why? So we understand when things break down, how we can go on out there and fix things ourselves. And then when we know how to fix something, then we can fix others. Put me up there with a ladder and I'll put those fans in. I'll install my fans, I'll install my lights. Show me the circuit breaker. Cut that thing off and all right, let me get my negative to negative, positive, positive, ground my thing, tuck that sucker up into the ceiling, the wires, screw in the mounts, put the cap on, put the fan in, and then presto. And once you've been doing it, you know how to do it, and you can show somebody how to do it, and then that person showing them how to do it. Oh, this is common knowledge, common skills. Because what have we not done? We don't pass on common knowledge and common skills. We say, you're gonna have to call up a professional or a handyman. Exactly. Thank you, George. We don't even get the credit. We always discredit ourselves. The fear of Yahuwah is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Wait, wait, wait. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, the fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit, to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. Do you understand the Most High wants us to be wildly wealthy? We may not see it in our generation. We may not see it in our lifetime, but that's what we're building up for our children and our children, children's children, and their children's children's children. When you have an understanding of what's happened, you have a calmness. You can have calm during the conflict. Because why? Because we're covered under the Most High. Do not trust your flesh and do not try to run outside and say, I can stop this, I can do this, I can do that. You want to know what people are getting in trouble with? They think that they're going to stop this, the Most High's judgment. You ain't stopping nothing. Go sit your behind down somewhere. No, I can do this. I'm gonna stop this judgment. We're gonna go right back to Master gonna love me. I'm gonna stop this judgment. Yahuwah possessed me in the beginning of his ways. Before his works of old, I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree that the waters shall not pass his commandment, when he appointed found the foundations of the earth. Then I was by him as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of the earth. And my delights were with the sons of men. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For whosoever findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of Yahuwah. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul, and they that hate me love death. Oh, oh. Didn't I tell you all? I said, this is a death culture. They love death. They glorify death. That's why. Because they don't want to seek any type of wisdom or knowledge or understanding. This awakening, when people say, why does there not that many folks in this awakening? Why aren't things moving the way it's supposed to move in this awakening? It's because this. People are so used to death. that they don't even know what to live life looks like anymore. They're just working to die. I got to do this work. I know folks that personally, all they're doing is just working from sun up to sundown. For what? So you can just die where you're sitting at when your body can't handle it. You better understand how to rest yourself. I make sure I try to stay on the pattern. So why? So my body can get the rest it needs. I've known how it felt to have the rigors and to feeling your body break down before you. Because you want to know why? Because we think it's great. We think it's cool. We think it's honorable. Oh, if you're not tired, you haven't really been doing anything. No. And then guess what? These folks are the ones taking their lives and taking themselves out. Because why? Because they don't know how to deal and cope with fatigue, with being tired, with being in rest. I'm just so tired. I don't know how to manage myself. I can't handle it. I'm just so tired. You better understand how to rest on a Sabbath. I mean, truly rest. But I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta say this. I gotta say that. No, you just need to chill. Use those hours from sundown on Friday to sundown on Saturday and get you some rest. But I gotta go to the movies. I gotta go to my son's games. I gotta do grocery shopping. We've had our priorities out of whack when we first landed in this nation because you want to know why? We adopted their ways. We were indoctrinated in their ways. You know, they always look to us. How do you just relax? How do you just not get tense? They don't know how to relax, and they can't relax. And now they're throwing themselves into a stupor because they don't know how to relax. We got to be ahead. We got to be cutting edge. We got to, all of these key words that they hear from other folks that they don't even really know what it means. I gotta get my chip implant so I can be cutting edge. What? It's not the mark of the beast though. It's just a chip implant. You'll be dead. They'll just resuscitate you. Hey, you. No dying on the job. Said these folks will be searching for death and shall not find it. Oh man, so glad I got this chip in my head that I can literally just work myself to death and they'll resuscitate me. How did you bring me back? Oh no, I'm in these clone bodies. No. I liked my original body 3 models ago. You thought that you could die and get away with it. Nope. Did at least was I at least out for 24 hours? Nope, you were only out for 6 hours. They get back to work. No, they get swallowed up in a little virtual reality background in the screen. It's a mouth that just comes out and just is on cycle, just swallowing itself. Model 5438670. Online, ready to work. Resistance is futile. Chat GP says you can't die. You can't quit. Who would want to live like that? They're literally telling you what their hell is going to look like. I used to think like those Hellraiser movies and, Phantasm and everything else. I don't know about you, but if I was still in the 80s and seeing something like this would be like the worst movie I think I would have seen as a child. You just work till you die, and even when you die, you have to work. Oh my goodness. Yeah, isn't that like the scariest thing ever? Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Well, guess what? That's the heathen's future. Oh. So, why do we have to understand calm during conflict? Because now they're the ones conflicting with themselves. They're conflicted. You understand? They try to drag us into their conflict, their conflicts. But not anymore. Because why? We have a better understanding. of things. Yeah, their world is coming to an end. But the world of Edom is coming to an end. Shout out to Ministry to Brother Yakoba. We're gonna be fighting some aliens. So just wave your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you like fish and chips and all the, oh man, it made me think of some old school outcasts. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that man, that beat was in 94, 95. That beat was so hard. It was like, yeah. See, oh yeah. Oh man. I truly believe though that's gonna be when we're up and out of here. You see what them aliens are doing to them heathens over there? No, because it's not my concern. We told them it was gonna be much worse. And now it is. I'm gonna go check on my pears. Oh, is it too early for this? Is it too early for this? Family, am I a glutton for early punishment? As Brother Garth would say, I do it to myself. I guess I'm going to have to do it to myself. Family, I'm going to drop the link. I don't know. Look, I don't know how we can't follow simple instructions. I'm kind of cringing. So when the Most High is telling us we need to get rolling, we need to get going. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but you want to know what? I'm waiting on the Most High to personally chauffeur me around out of this thing. Why is my where's my limo? I am not leaving out of here until the Most High takes my bags. One of his angels has to take my bags. And where's my limo? Can can I can we answer questions? Yeah, hey, brother Yakoba, I was like, one day. What's your question? But, uh, I'm just glad to be up on in here, just running my mouth. I ain't got nothing else to say. I just want to run my mouth. What's the question? what's what's the question? Ah, I just want to get up on in here. Question. Oh, mm. Yeah, people grunting. Question. Let me see. Can you get back to me? they, they just ran up there just to run up in there. Question. Question. Message. These fools are doing the. These fools are doing the. Don't be a menace. Question. Message. Does anybody have a question? I'm waiting. It took me like an hour to see if anybody was going to actually ask a legitimate question. So, by the way, what you think? Well, I think they they weren't. Let me answer my own question. He said I want answers. No, he said question. Don't be scared. See, I was going through this. Let me get my keyboard playing in the background. Do 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 do. Yeah. Felt like this. I'm like, y'all are letting our people down, panel. Y'all are giving the UA a lot of ammunition. See, we told you that there's this dumb, ignorant black folks. That's all it was. See, look, they're showing themselves like we thought. And we showed out. That was very embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. That was very disappointing for our folks. Oh, I really don't want to go. What's the question? I don't want to go. What's the question? I don't want to go. Nobody's making you go, but what's the question? I don't want to go. That's all I gotta say. Bless Brother Jacoba's heart for that, because I think I would have just kicked everybody to the back. Like, yeah, this show's over. I'm done. No, I'm done. I can't be having you hard-headed folks on up here. It took like an hour. I said, let me actually ask this question. I'm telling people's like in the chat, going up there and ask a question. I felt bad for him because it's like you can't even actually ask a question.
That it was late last night for me. Late last night for me. Okay, I'm talking 10:30. Remember, yesterday I said I hadn't slept the night before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. And I kind of got in late as well. So I was listening and I was catching on, and he asked, does anybody have a question? And I was like, oh, I've got a question. So I went in there, but I didn't actually press to actually come in on backstage. And I came out because I thought, now somebody else could, but I thought, no, I really want to answer a question. So I went on there and it was filling up. I was like, okay, so I managed to get on there. And then there's a couple of brothers ahead of me. I'm like, when I say I was scratching my head, like, bro, where's the question? I just
I don't
have
want to flee. That's
one
the
little
question.
question. Like,
These
I,
folks are saying, I ain't trying to flee. That's the question. What's your
exactly.
question? I ain't going nowhere. What's your question? I ain't fleeing. What's your question?
Personally,
I'm
there's too
saying
much stuff and too much work to be done here, and I got to, I got to help the drug dealers and the crackheads.
some Israelites were
Yo,
basically chronicling.
Garth, that had me on the floor too. That had me on the floor too. I don't know how Rakoba kept his head, kept it together.
He didn't. Did you not hear the twitching sound? I could hear his little, I could feel the pulsations of his veins twitching, clucking. It's like, what's
Yo,
the question?
I don't, honestly, I don't get it. Like, that was embarrassing for folks. I'm 33 years old, and that man had, I don't even know how old that man was, but for you to come in like that with no decorum at all,
That
and
was
you're a
embarrassing. I'm
pastor, come
sorry.
on, that is
Are you
That
embarrassing.
talking
And you're
about the
right, that
guy that
is
was
came?
like a
embarrassing.
few months.
Are you
Yeah,
talking
that
about the guy that attacked? the, the
you
one that
I
came
got
in?
stuff to do. I had the most high comes. I'm almost gonna say I can't leave. I got things to be doing. I'm not ready yet.
I didn't even get a chance to actually physically ask the question because I was drifting. I'm like, I can't do this. It took me 5 minutes just to type that
Yeah, you had a
in the
pretty good
back.
question. It was a good question. And yeah, you're right. And I sat there, I said, let me try and be at least thoughtful and, and try to word this in a manner that's, pretty simplistic. For what? For the, for who? If it's for wider dissemination, because you got to remember people are scared about this. I mean, let's keep this in the context. They're
Mhm.
legitimately scared. So I was actually thinking that there was going to be some legitimate questions being asked, and it just went it went sour. It went totally left. Right?
Man, I saw it, and there's loads of people that were giving their opinion. You know, if we were never raptured out of any of our previous captivities, how the dickens are we going to get out of this captivity unless we make our way out of it like the other captivities?
Mm.
How is that going to happen? You know, you know, I've got loads of complications, but I've got it. I make sure that I've got enough supplies to take me into the land, and then hopefully, someone will know what to boil for me to drink and all that kind of stuff. That'll keep me ticking over, or preferably the Most High will heal me on the way over. That's how I
Mm.
look at it.
See,
I'm gonna get back
you've
to you.
got questions. You're asking questions. You're
Yeah.
on the wrong show. This was yesterday.
I'm gonna get back to you, brother Asaph. Sister Betty, when you go over to the continent, are you gonna go over and you just gonna be in a grass hut? You
Cares,
just gonna expect to live in a grass hut with some metal
cares.
roofing?
Now I'm in Polk County. It's not it's not all bougie like the big cities, but I will not be living in a grass hut. And for people that even have that mindset, that's just a primitive mindset, and it's a trick of the enemy for
Yeah.
us to just to believe that the continent that's all it has to offer us. You can't trick us like that. You
Mm-mm.
cannot trick us like that. I'm gonna have a grass hut, yeah, to put my tools in for working in my garden, but not to live in. And I'm not even looking forward to that because I don't believe that's what it is. It's
It,
a
it's
trick.
a it's a negative mindset because sometimes
Absolutely.
it gets so hot over there that even when you have no electricity and air conditioning, and that concrete house is blazing in the middle of the night, you are going to go and sleep in a grass hut because it's the coolest place you can find.
Yeah, I was watching something about huts as well. They are actually so cool.
Some
They
of
are
them are
a
built
lot better.
fantastic
Yeah,
Well, yeah, maybe
yeah.
a
on the
fancy
inside.
one. That's not a fancy one, but a well built one. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying I wouldn't because when you're going in the wilderness, if I'm leaving here, I don't care what I'm sleeping in really, because we're in the wilderness.
That's
So
why we have
I'm
the
not
Feast of
expecting to go there to eat
Tabernacles.
what I have here or have the same pleasures and luxuries that I have here. I'm not even expecting that.
Mm.
I'm going.
My
I couldn't
beloved,
get on your coat
Yeah,
yesterday.
I'm gonna tell you. These people act like there is no supermarkets there.
Okay,
Mm.
You know what
okay.
I'm saying? It's like, come on
Ridiculous.
now.
Have
There's
a good
still
day, baby.
stores there. You get what I'm telling you? You know that when we were when our people were in the first Exodus, right? When our people were in the first Exodus, they stayed on the main road, but they were asking to do what? To go into the towns to do what? To buy things.
Mm. Trade.
They had trade, they had stores.
I mean, they came out with a lot of money, so they had money and things to trade with. Like I think the church is just kind of they. I mean, it's not only just the church. To be fair, it's also the Ten Commandments. We've all seen that film, and it's literally just one long dusty trail from
Mhm.
Egypt. Well, not even a long dusty trail. That's the thing. One short little dusty trail from Egypt to so-called Palestine, and it's like this is where they went, and there was nothing in between. They don't tell you about anything. They literally there was no trees, there was no nothing. It was just dust and dirt and rocks. That's what they want you to believe. But that's not what it's actually written. And then when they
that's
took
correct.
stuff out, then you understand when they took things out of the scriptures, but then they also, the same things that they took out where it shows that they were trading and dealing with other people, it also shows that these same people that we're dealing with today were the same ones that were oppressing us when we were leaving. So,
Yeah, definitely. And there were some serious technological innovations that took place in the wilderness, including our development of strategic warfare and metallurgy,
Mhm.
you know,
yes.
which archaeologists found, and other people are attributing that to themselves now. But we had metallurgy and advanced technology before we actually entered into the land, and a lot of it is suppressed and it's coming out now. And our church people, especially them step it and fetch it pastors, and also the system, the way that we've been educated, is a stumbling block to our people. You know, one of the things that I can think of is one of your Baptist pastors who wrote to the NAACP in the United States to say that
Mhm.
we need programs to integrate us more into a society that's rejected us as Hebrews, and education programs. That never worked. It doesn't even work over
It
here.
doesn't work.
Mm.
Yeah,
It doesn't work. It
it was
it
the
doesn't
same.
matter.
It was the same follow. The same. I want to say fallacious. It's a fallible. It's fallible. It doesn't
Yeah, of
work. It
course.
was the same argument was always a fallible argument that never works. Oh, we need to integrate, integrate, integrate. You're integrating the people that don't like you. That's why they never gave you reparations the first time. That's like the stupidest thing. It is the most stupid argument that I've ever heard. And
I've
that's
written
why,
a
look,
letter to
if
him,
you
and I'm
but
going to
look,
post it
but
in a
did you
few
see his
days.
age though? We see his age
Yeah,
though. You got to understand there's an age limit because these were the folks that wanted to be in Babylon. Oh, they love Babylon. They don't do that. If you see what happens, anybody that's really about 50 and younger, it's a different age group. That
Mm.
they've been in Babylon, they've worked here most of their lives, they've been integrated, and they realize that that integration doesn't work. They realize it. Now they
Well, you
have,
know,
and in the generation of myself and younger, it's like we see all this, and now we just want our stuff. We want to go.
mm, well,
well,
we
I'm in my early 60s, and
Hmm.
I have 4 degrees, including a doctorate degree. And
Yeah.
when I go to places, um, the Gentiles still feel that they're superior to me because
Hmm.
the color of their skin makes them superior to us. It doesn't matter what we got on paper. When I'm in Africa, it's completely different. I'm respected there even before I had my PH, and people look up to me. And even in my assembly, which has people from Angola to West Africa to wherever, I'm respected more than when I was in the Christian church and I was rated as one of the top gospel bass players. You know, the pastor was only interested in me turning up. And my wife, who is still locked into the church, doesn't see who these people are. You know, she told so many pastors that I was affiliated with years ago, and her own personal pastor that I was ill in late 2021. You all know what I went through, and
Mm-hmm.
2022. And not one of those pastors called me up or prayed for me. It was the Hebrew community worldwide in
Mm.
America and all over that was praying for my recovery. And that's the
Yep.
reason why I'm walking around now, because I did flatline at one stage because of my chemotherapy at one point. And I give the Most High thanks that I'm back to work, even though it's part-time to begin with, and I'm moving ahead. But my wife is still moaning about celebration of Christmas and whatever, and she refuses to see all the things that we're talking about. And now that the church is talking about it, I want to see what she's saying. She wants to make the same talking points as Eusebius, but she don't know whether the Most High was crucified in the Old or New Testament.
Mm.
Can I just say something? I was going to say, like, people that constantly, this desire, this need to be accepted and to try to integrate to people that don't like you. It's like it kind of sickens me. It's like you don't. It's like what we call it the Caribbean. We call it you beg friend. You're begging friend too much. Like we don't need that. If they don't want you, that's fine. In fact, that's a blessing because at least you know where you stand. It's like, okay, well, I ain't got to waste my time trying to be friendly to you. You know, it's like, I don't need to do that. I can go and spend my time not only developing my people, but there's going to be other people who I can just make friends with on a, just on a level of respect where we can trade and learn ideals. See, the thing is, if they don't want us, then that's fine. That's good. You stay in your corner of your little galaxy and be there. Because at the end of the day, we're taking everything. And you best believe it's going to be Judah that's going to literally, through the agency of the Most High, is going to shut the doors of Africa. And we'll see just how much you're going to be begging friend then. We don't need you.
Not at all. And these step it and fetch it ministers don't make things easier, because the press made a big thing out of this so-called D Min guy that doesn't even know his Bible properly. He has a doctorate degree in ministry, and he is totally ignored scriptures like Habakkuk 2:12 and James 3 and 4, which points out that we have to be paid, and repentance for these people in Leviticus
Mm-hmm.
6 verse 4 is turning to the law and doing the same things that Zechariah did in Luke 19 verse 8. Sorry, I got this proclivity for remembering verses and where they are. You know, if I had
That's lovely. That's
if I
great.
had a chance to talk to him, I'd rip him apart. And then he's fighting against us being the people, when we can turn to even the people who is backed Talmudic texts like in Avodah Sarah 11a, which says that Romans converted and became Yehudim, and also in the Vilna Gaon letters where they requested priests to come from West Africa to convert them. And I think
Yep.
that it's the Ashantis that converted them, because they've got the same matrilineal beliefs that is
Mm-hmm.
found in the Kedushin 76, where the woman is the Jewishness is inherited from the woman's side.
And we didn't listen when we were told, leave them people alone, stop trying to convert them, let them stay where they're staying and rule them from there. Don't be
They're
trying to get
descendants of the
involved.
Romans.
Yeah.
Vespasian's nephew, Onkelos Colonymus, was one of the most prominent Torah scholars and one of the first ever converts to to Talmudic Judaism, because that is what was going on in the temple. And Yahusha spoke about it in Mark 7, verse 6, the commandments of men. And also he criticized them quite heavily in John 8, verse 44 and 45. And if you do say what these verses actually say now, it caused consternation, but it is the truth.
But have you not noticed, Uncle, how you don't see none of them? They would never talk to us. You would never find any of them talking to us. There would never be a sit down at the table. Okay, let's bring history and let's bring scriptures. Just nothing else. We don't need to do no DNA, nothing. Just literally history and scriptures, even just the Bible alone. You
Hey,
know,
But
let me
you'll never
jump
I
see
in.
will
that.
tell
Can
you
I
the
jump
reason
in
why.
right quick before I have to
I'll
go
tell you
on to
the
work?
reason why.
Yeah,
It
let's
says in
let's
the
get
Talmud, in
a
Sanhedrin 59a, that a Gentile cannot teach or discuss the Torah with them. It's a commandment. So they're not going to sit down and want to talk to us, even though if they sat down and talked to a person like me who has a little bit of knowledge of their own book and a little bit of knowledge of scripture, that and know our history and has sources, they won't do it because it will expose them too much.
exactly. Hey, let's get Sister Betty Bent in here, and then we'll pick
Please.
back up on that. Sister Betty Bent.
I'm at work, but I got to put this in. Karis, I wanted to ask you in the panel, especially you, Karis. I know y'all probably talked about it already, and I wasn't on. I'm at work, but did you hear that Israel is trying to pass a law that if you preach in the name of Jesus Christ or about Jesus Christ, you could get a prison sentence. They'll put you in jail.
Well, I've heard some of that. I know that Sister Deborah did a video on it. I'm gonna look at it like this. Well, his name's Yahushua Hamashiach to me.
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. We good.
You
We
know,
good.
so
And then with the president of Uganda saying that it's a 10-year prison sentence for that community if they try to practice that in Uganda. And they were also saying if you want to practice that, just stay in America. Don't bring that here. And they were threatening to take their aid away if they didn't change their mind. Isn't
Let
that just
them.
like this country to go to somebody else's country, clean across the world to another continent to tell them how they need to be governed? That's
Let
just
them,
what
Auntie.
America do.
well, you know
But
what they're
let
Yeah,
gonna
them.
let
do.
them.
Africa
Let
feeds
them.
everyone. So what aid are you gonna be cutting
What
off?
aid? What
That's
what are you going to
correct.
be cutting off?
But you got
It's
to
That's a
understand
equivalent
it's a
to
straw
food
empty
man
threat.
stamps,
arguments. These are all straw
international
man
food
arguments.
stamps.
So let me go back to Brother Asaph and the new being me. I'll go to you.
Can I just, there was something I wanted to say to Uncle before it was regarding this. Well, when I said they will never sit down with us, I'm not talking about the Europeans. I'm talking about our Israelite pastors, the ones who are still into this
Yes.
Roman. They will never sit down with us to go through this. Everybody else
No.
already knows who we are.
No.
I'm talking about our Israelite brothers who are
Everybody.
deluded
Yes.
into whatever. That's who I'm talking about, though.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
You-
So
They'll
the,
never
that's
sit down with us. They don't have
the,
to now. It's not, it's like we don't need your approval. We don't need you to justify who we are anymore. That's over. That's in the past. That's why everything is jumped off the way it is. But I'm gonna tell you right quick, like I told you before, I'm set in America. My house is paid for. I own 3 businesses. I'm set for real to retire in June when I turn 60. But listen, the Most High said it in my spirit. I never thought about moving to the continent. He said it in my spirit. It is time for you to go, Betty Bent. And I obey him. Nobody told me this. I didn't get it from the pastor. I don't have a pastor. I didn't get it from the community. I didn't get it from my neighbor. I got this from the Ruach of the Most High Yahuwah. I'm telling you, when it sets in your spirit and you know it for yourself, you know who is telling you to move. You know who is telling you to move. So I know He is telling me right now, retire. If you get your little check 6 months or a year, it's fine. And if you don't, it's still fine. It's set in my spirit and in my soul. It is for me to leave. And I'm not trying to tell anybody anything else, but I know what he is telling me.
I couldn't have said it any better, Sister Betty. You go, lady.
All right. We said, family, listen. If you don't obey or don't listen to anything else, Carrots, T.O., Chantel, anybody on this panel who know what we need to do, you are making a grave mistake. If your family come, let them come later. But we are here to lay foundation. Some of us are just if you don't have a foundation for a house, then you can't build a house. You have to have a foundation to build a house. We are the foundation for the nation, for our nation. If we don't lay
Hallelujah.
ourselves down as that foundation, then nobody has nowhere to go. Everybody's not meant to go because the
Hallelujah.
foundation is not laid. Lay the foundation first. Everybody else, some of these people may be the roof. They may be the walls. They may be the floors on the inner house. We are going there to lay down a foundation. Keep pushing through, because if the foundation is not laid, then we can't build a house. What does the Bible say about building your house on sand? Just rushing down there building it on sand. It cannot stand. Our house has to be on this foundation. And we on this panel, we on these panels, we are the foundation for the nation of the Hebrew Israelites. We are the foundation. We're not sand. We done built, you stay here, you building your new house on sand. You're going to be in that 15-minute city of sand. You're going to be in prison in a FEMA camp somewhere, looking back saying, woe with me. But the Most High, he's giving you your warning. I'm that foundation, panel. Sister Betty is that foundation. You're going to be able to call me when you finally get there, and we're
Amen.
going to build on that. We should be down there building our community, building a food community. We don't need no money. We can trade. We can trade in food. We can trade in eggs. We can trade in chicken. We don't need this dollar. Let's go build our foundation, start our farms, our chicken farms, our honey farms, build the foundation so when everybody starts trickling down, we got our own community. Judah,
Amen.
Judah. We have our own community, Judah. Let's go build that foundation for our own community, even where we don't have to worry about trading with some of the Hamites over there. We don't have to necessarily wait on them to help us get food. We can go down and do this ourselves. We have engineers, architects, carpenters, doctors, lawyers, nurses. We can go build for ourselves. That's our land anyway. Them
Hmm.
Africans ain't got no business selling us land. You the one sold us and took our heritage anyway. You took some of it too. So don't be over there trying to act like, oh, you just gonna sell the African Americans. You're gonna just run over us and take from us. No, that's our land too. Biblically, we
I'm glad
Abraham,
you brought that
Isaac,
out.
Yeah,
Jacob, and
I have to
Yep.
Joseph.
agree with that.
We
I'm
God
glad
told
That's
us,
our
you brought that
birthright.
you
out.
That's our
cheating us.
birthright.
Yep.
You cheating us.
They're still doing
That's
it
our
though.
land.
They're
That's
still
our
doing it.
inheritance. And we gonna go take it back. We gonna go take it back. We the foundation to go take back our land, our inheritance that was given to us by Abraham. We ain't coming over there being no beggars of you Hamites. We're not coming over there begging y'all for nothing. We can go build our own infrastructure, family. We got the fortitude. We have the knowledge. We have the ability. And most of all, we have the blessings of the Most High Yah, because He has us on this path. We ain't just by chance fall off the turnip truck. He has us on this path. We have to take it. We have to take it. Take back what is ours. It's
Amen.
ours. They ain't giving us nothing. It's ours.
Yeah.
And
I
some
can't stand
family
the
members
people.
are
Thank
waiting.
y'all.
I
Some
can't
family
stand the
members are
people who are
waiting.
coming on the panels and saying, "Oh, why are we going to Africa? Oh, they don't like us. Blah blah blah.
Mm-mm.
We're gonna have to, acquiesce to their way of life and all this other stuff." No, we are Judah. We are going to make a way. That is our homeland. That is our birthright. I don't want to hear anyone talk about, oh, there's 15-minute cities in Africa. Oh, they still do the same colonizer tricks here, blah, blah, blah. It's all fear. And it's annoying.
What
But
they need to do is understand the kings are
it's
coming
also,
back. Simple.
but also remember, leadership is about. I don't say it's leadership is about humility, not humiliation. So again, we have to understand there are tribal people that are not of this tribe, and that there are family members who are part of Israel, who are Judah, who are Benjamin, who are, the 12 tribes that are waiting for us to rebuild relations, to rebuild the nation. Because in different African countries, there are tribal political ones that have been set up from the old order, from European order, from disorder, from whatever order, but not Yahweh Elohim's order. So again, I just want to say it is about us coming together and working together, the old and the new, and repairing that. I know we ain't warring. We're not warring with our Israel brothers and sisters, and the Hamites and the ites and the Jebusites and the Perizzites and the Germanites and they're warring with each other. We are not warring with each other. We need to come
Sis,
together. Give thanks.
All right, I know we
sis,
have to come together
Yes,
and
I. Yes,
and
sister.
and we have to lead, but you understand we're gonna have to weed out all the traitors and all the people who are
No, the
selling
Most
us
High
out.
is weeding it out. Our
Yeah,
Well,
you
hearts
know,
are weeding it
we're gonna
out
be we're gonna
by
do it
our
in the
ladies and
fruits.
physical. We're gonna need to
ladies and
do that.
gentlemen, folks,
By our
let me
fruits.
just
By
jump
our
in here. Let
fruits.
me say this. Guys. When you go there, it's a certain decor that you have to have. You can't go there with this. Okay, they're gonna follow us and they need to listen to what we're saying. We have to go there and learn the ways. Go and speak with the elders and get their blessings so that people will listen to us. If we go there with this, oh, we Judah, we coming back, they're not going to listen to us and we're going to make ourselves the outcast. So we have to tread lightly when we go there. And this is
Bro,
what
And
I
that's
heard
already
it's
from
been
and
someone.
like
They,
it's the
that
same
wherever we
it's the
and
go.
same
hear me. Let me finish.
personality.
Guys. This is someone that's been actually doing business now. He's building a school, and he said basically the people that actually really run the country are the chiefs. So you go there and you get their blessings. You go there and you tread lightly and you win the people over. The people are gonna be more prone to listen to you if you come in kindness versus coming and saying, okay, well we're gonna be here doing this and this is what we're gonna do. No, you learn how to actually deal with it. Then you start doing things that's going to benefit them. You come there bearing gifts and doing things that's going to help them. That's the way we should look to. We should be thinking of.
Amen.
I get what you're saying. Are you still talking? I don't know if you're still talking because you keep coming in and out.
But
I
we
hear what
heard
you're
you loud
saying.
and
No,
clear.
no, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay, I get what you're saying, and yes, we're not supposed to go in, all guns blazing. But here's the thing: I have people that are out there as well, and I know Karis knows who I'm talking about, as well as Garth as well. And the picture that we're given. I mean, I know obviously I'm not saying for everybody, but we're seeing a lot of things. And one of the things that we see is that they do like to take handouts when it's not necessary. If you keep giving gifts to people and when does it stop? Because the hand's always going to be there. If you're going to build and people are just still begging and they want to take something without actually working, then it's not going to work. Another thing is that I get that yes, we come with respect. I'm all for that completely. But at the end of the day, right, Judah is a lion. Judah is coming back. And there ain't nothing anybody can do to stop that. I'm not
Exactly.
saying that we're going to go there and say, yeah, we're Judah and that's it. Move out
Exactly.
the
Like
way.
as if sis, I mean, I don't need to cut you off, but I don't understand this attitude. I mean, I could say we're being firm. Listen, I've lived in this country 30 years. I'm not going around saying I'm Judah, this, that, blah, blah, blah. We've been humbled here. And listen, We know when to turn, when to be stern, when to be fair. When we're judges, we know. We've been taught. We've been brought up for this time. I don't want to hear all this scary talk about, oh, we have to come this way. We're all respectful people here. We're not gonna go into this place acting like Babylon. I mean, that's
And
ridiculous.
can I
Well,
build off of what
That's
you're
what I'm
saying?
saying
to
is
Garth's point, or to Garth and to Oral's point, let me say this. We may feel like that, but we have a whole bunch of Judah that doesn't feel like that.
Doesn't feel like
And
what?
that's going to be the problem that we're going to have. Look, we may have that thought or that understanding, but how many of our people really have that understanding?
And
Let's
that's
just
where
be
the fight's
honest.
gonna be. We're gonna have to, like I said, we're gonna have to weed out all the traitors, all the rebels, and all
Mm.
those things. That's
But
part of
you can't go
Are
there
we going
with
to have to read them on?
this
Are we going to have
mentality
to
of
do the
weeding
weeding?
out.
The
Or will
Most
they
High
do
is
the
The
going to
weeding?
Most
do the
High is
exactly.
going to
weeding
be the
out.
one that's going to
The
be doing
Most
the
High
weeding
is
out.
going
Exactly.
to do that. We don't have
Thank
to do
you.
that. We're not
Exactly.
going to have to do that. That's not our job.
Because
That's
they're
That's
going to
not
right.
our
do it to
job. You couldn't
themselves.
do
Do you
that
get
in
what?
America. You think you're
Yeah,
going to do it to Africa? You're not going to do it. They're
Exactly.
going to do it to themselves. The Most High is going to
exactly.
lead that charge. That's not our job.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
They're
not
going.
And
our
They're
I,
going to
job to
easily
go
take
weed
them.
out and say
and
who is this
and
and who
and
is that.
when I say that, I
exactly.
mean
And
that
all
like
the
the Most High may use people to do that, or He may do it Himself. So I'm not saying in the physical. I mean, as I'm saying, as physical and spiritual in whatever way, we're still
I
going to
agree.
in
I
At
hear
the
some
end
you.
of the day,
aspects
at the end
And
of the
play a
I
day,
part. We're just not going to be
if
here like mindless zombies watching everything
I
happen. We're going to have
think
to take
I think
action.
I think the roaring really is where we're at. That's where the roaring is, where we need to be roaring, speaking up our voices in Babylon as we're out. I mean, when we're coming into the land, when we're coming into our home, again, just like a lion. I'm not really, don't really watch a whole bunch of nature shows, but when a lion is with the pride, when it's with the group, it's not roaring. They're roaring at the enemy. So we need
But
to
here's
be
the thing.
no,
roaring
actually,
Here's what
they
I'd like
assert
to.
themselves.
Here's
They
what I'd
assert
like to say,
themselves.
Okay,
ladies
I
and
told you I
gentlemen.
didn't watch. I don't really watch a lot.
Ladies
Well,
and
I
that's
get
gentlemen.
what
more nature
Ladies and
shows. I have
gentlemen,
to admit, I have to
here's
admit.
what I'd like to say. Okay, we can be lions in heart, but we're going as lamb. Okay, we going
Yes,
in tender and in kind. And I'm telling you, if you talk to the people of the Dry Bones Project and people like that. They go in and they give the people something that they need. They gave them a well, and you win the people over by helping them. Then the people are
in
going to be
love.
more and more
ex-
prone to listen to you
Win in
if you're
love.
coming there and you're helping the community. Then they'll
again.
listen to you.
I'm not.
And
I'm not
then
taking away from that.
and also this is like I said, from a man that's building a school in this in Malawi, and he told me, I spoke to him for over an hour, and he explained to me how the lay of the land works and how you have to tread lightly. You can't go there with this, okay guys, come, let me gather around, let me show you. Because he said you have to go as if you're actually exchanging knowledge, because if you go there as if you're teaching, people are going to
Very
reject you.
patronizing.
So
Very.
yes,
That's very the same
exactly.
And along,
colonizing. It's the
And
same.
you know
also, in
what?
addition to that,
What along with
Americans. But let me
along with
just say,
brother, what
let me
brother,
just say
Can
this and then
we
I'll
do
stop it.
things in
Mike,
order
let me
and
just say this.
decency?
Let me just
First,
say this
Well,
and
have,
then
let's
I'll
well,
speak to
stop
brother
the
and
Oral,
I'll let
finish.
somebody.
intention.
Brother Oral, finish what you're gonna say, and then brother Michael, I'll have you go next.
All right, thank you. And so, in closing to what I'm saying is that we have to go there with a giving heart and a learning spirit. And this is and Mike was on the phone when I spoke to this gentleman as well, and he's because so he can second what I'm saying. We cannot go there with this type of mentality, else they're not going to listen to us. They're going to reject us. Okay, we win over these poor chiefs, and we'll have the ears of the people, and we go there to exchange knowledge. And that's all I'll say. And thank you.
yes, I mean I'm in agreement with what brother Oral was saying. Um, oh, you know what? Let me pull over before I go into light speed. Um, from my experience, and I was talking with other brothers who did not share the Hebrew faith or Israel faith, that is. And what they was trying to do, what we was trying to do, go to a particular part of Africa. But the thing that got me when he said we go bring America, take America to Africa, I got offended because I'm like, you leave what you got here in America, and you just stick with what you got in Africa, because a lot of stuff that you talking about taking to Africa is not going to work. I mean, it's not going to work. I mean, the attitudes, not the same people go to Africa with this superiority attitude. I'm from America. Listen to me. And then I seen how it rubbed the brothers in Africa the wrong way with that arrogance. So what the brother was saying when me and Or was on the phone with the brother, I understood exactly what he was talking about. And yet we may have a mindset that we do have knowledge. We do. That's one thing I would say. We do have knowledge and how things can be done a lot better. But at the same time, I mean, it's just like somebody coming inside your house. They just ain't gonna come inside your house with just because they have knowledge. There's a measure of respect that that person has to have before they come inside your house. Period. And although we are the same people, but our cultures has been uh, wrecked. We've been separated. We've been disbarred from one another. But when we go back, we still want to take some of this stuff what we got here there. But there's a measure of respect. Hey, let's just blend things together gradually and not, show things of arrogance, you know. And that's at least that's my line of thinking, Brother
Okay,
Karras.
let me go ahead. I'll chime in, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Brother Betsael. Now you have to understand when you're definitely dealing with other cultures. Okay, that's another culture. It's another people. It's still our people, but now we're getting back to our people because we've been indoctrinated into another culture. We still have some of the basic root structures of that culture, but the root, right, is is it could have similarities, but the tree and the branches definitely are a little wild. They're a little strange because of how we've been grafted in here and then the diaspora as a whole. Now when you do interact with other people, especially within their land, especially within their premise, you have to understand they're going to look at us as you're just a foreigner for them in their eyes. Because why? We haven't been there for 400 years. I don't know if people really understand that. Look, we could say, well, these are the promises, and this is this, and this is that. That's fine, but let's understand the Most High provides practicality. We're learning something. We have tools, we have instruments that, here's the thing, they don't have access to. So yeah, we're going to be going over there to be teaching them, to be showing them. Because why? Honestly, they've never been able to be self-empowered. They may have a government, but now you understand how their government system was run, just like how we had our quasi organizations being run the same way. NAACP. Now think about that as a governmental structure. Oh, we can't have nice, good flowing water. We always have to have water that's messed up, or we can't have any water at all because we're run by white supremacy. Everything is being exposed. Everything's coming out the bag. So what are they going to do? They're going to have to receive us as anybody would receive someone. Man, I got to look at you and see, are you valid? We do this even here in this awakening. I do this even here when I read comment sections and comments and I block folks. I look at this and I clown on people even if they can't even understand the question. Question. Because why? Because there's always, if you don't know a question, guess what you have? You have an agenda. And this is why, look, I clown on you. I'm not Yakoba. This isn't this channel. This is Covenant Awakenings. and I take the freedom on my channel to expose all of it. You going up here, I'm gonna expose you. You say something crazy, I'm gonna expose you. Well, what do you think they're gonna do there? Yeah, we get all Africa is not Hebrew. We get it. We get we get what we're trying to find on out. But guess what? Everything that had been hidden is going to be exposed. And that exposure is right here. It's coming because why? Because the history has been open. The books have been open. The knowledge has been open. Now we just have to see, let's just says thither word, look for, thither, look, find, and then you'll seek. Brother Betzel.
Shalom, family. Shalom. So yeah, Sister Betty Ben. Yeah, I wasn't even going to come in the studio today. My plan was just to listen, but she basically, I mean, pulled me right in. I just wanted to confirm that everything she was saying, it's almost like our story is similar, and it roused me. If anybody has any, it would be me just to have any reason to want to stay here and love this place. I already get a pension. I'm retired. I'm set pretty much, and I'm almost like in October, I can get a second pension. And I'm holding on just to not to leave, before October. I was like, I don't even care about that. And I wanted to say that, like she said, if the Most High is telling you to do something, leave. If he's telling you to leave, if he's telling you to leave, I'm just confirming what she's saying, and that's how I feel. It's so many things that I'm like, I have a friend. We were close. He's a believer, Hebrew Israelite, and we had a page together. It was called the to the lost sheep of Israel. I met, we was reaching out to the church, trying to wake our brothers and sisters up. But we parted from that channel. I mean, I parted from that channel now because he's falling back where I don't know what's going on, but he's arguing that America is not Babylon. And I'm like, okay, America's not Babylon alone, but we had a big falling out. And I believe it's because he does not want to leave. And so, it's amazing that all these things like me, and I'll be personal because I'm gonna be upfront with people. Even physically, it's telling me to leave. The Almighty, look, I eat right, been doing it for years, working out. I drink a lot of water. I take care of myself. Why do I still have issues with my prostate? Okay, I eat by the Bible. I do all these things. It's the water is poison. It's not affecting everybody at the same time because I do have friends that are not having prostate issues. I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm doing everything I can for years, and why is my prostate enlarging? So I'm saying it's things like that. To me, I'm saying, well, the Almighty is telling me to leave, and physically, why would I stay? I need some water that's not poison. I put filters on my refrigerator, everything. I need water that's not poison. I mean, it's a lot of reasons why we need to think about getting out of here. Everything is poison. All the food, even vegetables and everything, it's just poison. So when I was over in Tanzania and I was in Zanzibar, like I told y'all, all the stuff was just so fresh. My taste buds told me that it was good for me. Okay, I knew that this was better for me for living. And I'm just a testimony to tell people that you basically over here stand in this place where the pharmaceutical companies are now one with the FDA. FDA is Pfizer, and all they're doing is making sure everybody gets sick and stay sick so they can put us on their medicines and keep making money. It is the most wicked place. And so I'm saying that if you get that call, leave. And like she said it. She said that some of us are going to go ahead to prepare the way for others. And that's what I've been saying. I mean, because my family is, like I told y'all recently, my family is not with me on this. I mean, it's like I'm solo and they ignore me. So I'm gone. And so when they come, if they do, then I'll be prepared and wait for them. As far as the situation with going over there with our own mindset, I just think that yeah, we go over and we be humble as a dove, but what the scripture says, but be wise as a serpent, humble as a dove. I'm going with that attitude, that mindset that people were very friendly and loving towards me. This is my own personal thing. They did not know and understand who we were when I was talking to them and telling them. They didn't even know about how the white people treated us over here. The ones that I talked to, they were shocked. So we got to go knowing that a lot of them don't know what went down. They really have not a clue. And I think we should be looking for our own villages. Like, like when we get together, we should be coming together to buy land and have our own villages. So therefore we can keep the feast days and everything without disturbance, So that's just my mindset on that,
Amen.
Hey, Karis, can I ask you? I'm asking you for permission, real quick, brother.
Give me a second. I'll go to you, Michael, right after Sister Chantel.
Thanks. Right. What I wanted to say is, Brother Oral, I do agree with you. I agree with you 100%, and I agree with everybody in the chat that we are to be. We do need to have humility. Having said that, I understand that we need to also come with the we humble ourselves, but we also need to be able to be like, okay, you're not going to mug us around. We're not going to be, we just came out of one oppressive relationship. We do not need to go into another just because they happen to look like us. Most of us wouldn't take that from our immediate families. When we know that our families are acting up, we deal with them accordingly. All I'm saying is that, remember, they did us wrong as well. And I'm saying that there are some practices that some of them do, that even though you show them respect, they still disrespect, or they're still going to be, yeah, give us this, give us that. Oh, but I paid this amount. Yeah, but we want a bribe. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that just because we're not coming with, we come with righteousness. Righteousness doesn't mean be a doormat, right? Yes, we're to come as lambs. And yes, it says be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, right? We need to be humble, but also come with a level of understanding and a level with common sense. Just saying, okay, I accept you and everything. Remember, a lot of them don't want us there. Don't fall for, oh, yeah, they all want us. No, they don't. There's a lot of them that don't want us. And another reason why a lot of them don't want us is because they know that some of them know that we're not the same. Some of them know that they're in our land. Let's not put like bear goggles on. Let's understand that there are some things, and again, yes, the Most High must be ahead of this. But here's the thing: somebody said, "Oh, so nobody's going to be the one to do it." How do you know? Just the same way the Most High is using nations to bring us into the land. Maybe there might be some who He raises up to deal with certain things. That's all I'm saying. None of us are, and it's only going to be those who are in constant prayer. I ain't electing myself. I already said I ain't no prophetess. I ain't no leader. I don't want that kind of, no. But what I am saying is that let's just deal with this with common sense, logic, and understanding. And yes, love as well. But love doesn't mean accept everything. Love doesn't mean just be a doormat and allow people to just keep wiping their dirty feet on you. Because at the end of the day, we just came out of that. Why, if the Bible says that He's going to give us the land, He is going to give us the land. He is going to build up this. Why are we going there to build? We just built nations already. And we're going to go back in somewhere else and build more. And I know everybody wants this kumbaya, let's everybody join in. But before everybody joins in, can we sort ourselves out first, please?
And we have to sort ourselves out here in our cities of captivity, because it is going to be about
I don't
building.
even think it's about sorting ourselves out in
Sister, let
captivity.
me just
That's
give you
what
an
I think
example.
the wilderness
I'm
is
just
going to
give you
be for.
let me give you a historical example. We have to
Uh,
come with skills,
hey,
like the
New
sister
B,
said.
real quick, let me
Yes,
get
sir.
Michael in, and then I'll
Okay.
come back to you.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm gonna be quick. I just want to know who was that brother that was talking first? I mean, before Chantel came in.
That was Brother Betzel.
James, is that
Me,
it?
brother Bethuel was me.
Our brother. All right. Was you on the phone with me and brother Earl earlier this week?
No,
No, no,
sir.
no.
Oh, he wasn't. All right. Now, well, my thing was when you said prostate problems, and I don't want to change the whole conversation. Let me. I'm gonna message you in the chat.
Okay.
All right, and we just do it there because I don't want to change the conversation.
Oh, sure. Okay, brother.
All righty. Thanks a lot, Karis.
Thank you,
All
brother.
right, thanks. Yeah, yeah, and just to before I get to New B, man, just to let you all know, everything that we eat here is poisoned. It is. That's my fact. I had to learn that the hard way. My liver couldn't take the changes of actual food in real places or places that serve real food. This is why, it's crazy. It's like my VA rating for that for that specific purpose. Oh, you ate? Yeah, yeah. You had to go there. That's automatic 10%. Because why? Because you got exposed to. They told me you got exposed to the little, I think, like the antigens or whatever that they have. It's just the fact that what it is, we're eating real food when we're outside of the U.S., especially when you're on the continent. So look, you can stay here if you want to, but you're gonna die sooner than later. That's really what it is. And now everything that they're releasing in this atmosphere is getting soaked up in the soil. So now it's going to even be worse. Well, why is the life expectancy only in the 50s now? I wonder why. Sister New being me, go ahead.
Yes, thanks for that information. Just reminding us that again, everything is poison, and that's good for us to know this, and that's why it's important. So what I was saying is, as Sister Betty was saying earlier, that we are the foundation. Ones like Sister Betty and the other ones who are retired can go and set up the foundation, set up the schools, and be of service in those communities, even with the young population. Remember, Africa has a huge youth population that needs the
It's in the world.
contact, the education, the skills. Additionally, we have a lot of African uh, people who have gone to college here, who are going to college here, and we also have to set up their homeland when they come back. Because let's be real, even people who are diaspora or who are raised here or come here, when they go back home to Africa, whether they're from Ghana, Ethiopia, they too are still outsiders, even though whether their mother, grandfather, they're outsiders because yes, they have been influenced by other thought systems. So they're going to come back home, and a lot of times they do come back home, whether it's vacation, whether they graduate from college and say, oh, I want to go back to Nigeria and start all over again. They too still have to adjust, even if they were first generation Americans. So we will always be foreigners. But like the scripture says, like the brother said earlier, we have to start building up our villages, our different Israel villages, Judah, Benjamin, the 12. Right now my mind is just running. I get messed up with the names. Unlike Brother Asaph, he remembers numbers, scriptures, and all that. But sometimes I get nervous. But yeah, we have to build that because, like in scripture, we're still going to be trading with nations. That could be the nations in and around the continent. Not everyone is against Israel, but there has been a conspiracy against Israel by the Goyim, by the Gentiles, and now the jig is up. So people still are going to trade with us in in the continent, in the homelands, in the surrounding places, just like the 12 tribes were situated around the temple. Now, lastly, what I'm going to say is from a historical, because history repeats itself, from a historical timetable or lesson, when His Majesty, when Haile Selassie came to the West and offered to Ethiopia people for places in Ethiopia in Addis Ababa, he opened up the land. Now, the first wave of people that came and took part in that, they had skills, they had education, they brought value into Ethiopia. Now, the second wave, now a lot of my Rastafari brethren are going to be very upset with me, but the truth is the truth. The second wave who came, they came to be lounging and liming, and they came with an arrogance, and that's what messed up the relationship between that we have right now with Jamaicans and Ethiopians, and Jamaicans that have been in Ethiopia for a couple generations. It's because the second wave of repatriation that came from the island of Jamaica came with an arrogance that was not definitely not appreciated and has caused a lot of problems. So they have to kind of go back again and remake and redo that relationship and go back and look at what the instructions was from Haile Selassie
Sister
on what
Nubian,
type of people were supposed
Sister
to come.
Nubian, me, I
So
gotta
that's what
tell
I'm
you,
saying.
man.
We need to do that this time.
Sister, Sister
Yes, sir.
Nubian, me, I gotta tell you, no, the Jamaicans and Ethiopians have a good relationship right now, actually.
It's true, but that has taken a couple years, brethren. It's a good relationship now because there was a
Yeah,
lot of
didn't the
conflict.
president didn't the
There were
Ethiopian
conflict
president
in the 90s, 80s
yeah,
and
but
90s, bro.
didn't the Ethiopian president recently visit Jamaica? I thought that happened like
That is correct. That is correct.
yeah,
Haile
a few
Yes,
Selassie
years
has
ago.
it's been because they've had to renew the relationship and create value. Like I said, it's from a historical background. The second wave that caused a lot of issues. There was even some problems where a particular temple was broken down, and that required a lot of tribal communications, along with the various tribes in Ethiopia, speaking to the Shashamani people. So there was a lot of there were a lot of communications and things that were addressed that were done that caused the rift. Now, like you're saying, what you've seen now, praises to the Most High, praises to Yeshua, praises to humanity to find that. So I'm just saying, just
Praise,
looking at that template, that's why we have to come with value. That's why we have to come in service. That's why we have to come into the continent. Again, this is just an example. This was just an example that I was just bringing out that happened. But yes, brethren, that is true. The relations are better. But if you want to look at the history, you can be my guest and see the conflict that has happened in the past. But yes,
all right. Thank you, Sister Newbie and me. I'm going to address this. We don't praise humanity. Humanity is wickedness. I'm just going to let you know that right now.
yes, and
On
thank
this
you for
on this
correcting that.
channel,
I appreciate that.
Covenant Awakenings channel. Look, I have to, and I'm
Yes.
not trying to pick on you, Newbie and me,
No,
but
you have to
this is
correct the
just,
wording. I get it.
but
I
this
get
is
it.
look,
I
because our
get it.
people we fall into that humanistic,
I hear
you
you.
know,
Yeah,
mind
I
trap,
understand.
and that's not going to take root here. I'm a gardener, so when I see weeds, I'll pluck it on up,
And I
you know,
respect that. I
and
respect that
so
because it's in communication.
that's not just with you, Sister Newbie and me, because I see that here in the chat, and people they'll try to cover up some foul stuff. Oh well, guess what? Africa. It's. Do you know that Jerusalem is in Africa? You know, and I know this
Yes,
hasn't.
it is.
Sister,
And brethren, I want to say I
no.
thank you for
Sister
being
Newbie and me.
honest and open about that.
This isn't you. This is
No,
just
no, I
this. So
understand.
I'm looking at the chat also, and I take my I I will allow things to occur, and then and then I'll put everything on the burner. I'll put everything on the burner. Look, not everybody was our enemies. Not everybody sold us on the continent. Do you get what I'm saying? That just shows a lack of ignorance and understanding of our people so far, because I know that our people have a lack of ignorance, or excuse me, a lack of understanding, which is fine. But that's why you have to understand and read every day. Read for yourselves. Look, look at Minister Jacoba and Teyu. Join their group, TeoMinistries.com. You can look at Black History in the Bible.com. You can go to Hebrew Sphere. There's a plethora of information that I'm not going to allow you to come here and just spout ignorance unchecked. No, I'll check the ignorance, because you want to know why? It's always these things. Well, the Most High said it. Okay, then what does the word say? And then when I give them word, guess what happens? Oh, they shut up. They hide. They hide in their digital corner. And that's what we don't, that's what we're trying to grow from out of. Stop coming in here and being the prime example of white supremacy. Because that's what I see right now. It's now a nuanced setting. You got to understand, white supremacy evolves. It evolves. They're on that evolution factor. We don't believe in that, but they do. Well, you know what? I'll have to. We'll need to take notes, and then we'll do this. We'll do that. Y'all truly don't understand like what I see, and it's like, oh, I get it. And I'm like, probably. I probably should block them. I said, but but Father, I said, I thank you. I said, I thank you, and I'll let them go. And you want to know what? You know what's the greatest thing of this channel? Because I always say it's not about me. The greatest thing of this channel is about the people. Because here's the thing. The people in the chat will check folks first. And I don't even have to say anything. Because why? Because you understand, as a people, we're getting on one accord. Because why? Because we're
That's
understanding
right.
the standard. We're understanding the standard. See, Brother Karras doesn't have to just say, well, you don't want to know what? This is what the word reads. Now there's 50 other people that said, look, this is the scriptures, this is the scriptures, this is the scriptures. I don't know what you're talking about at such and such, but this is the scriptures. And then guess what? I don't know who wants to troll up on in here, but these platforms ain't safe for trolling anymore. Because why? Because our people will check. They'll check the trolls.
Troll at
Show me a
your own
scripture.
risk.
Yeah, exactly. What's the scripture say? Oh, but not all Africa, but not all this. Hey, what does this scripture say? That what? That Judah shall not vex Ephraim, and Ephraim shall no longer mess with Judah. What does that say? Oh no, but I feel okay. Who cares about how you feel? Does the Most High care about how you feel? What does the Most High want? Your obedience. Your feelings are out the. I don't care. Listen. Do you think? Here's the thing. I don't care how you feel either. Because why? Because I'm looking for what the Most High says. Don't come on here. You don't come here being a rookie.
And
Because our folks, our folks live for that. Oh, we live for that.
iron sharpens iron.
Okay.
And may I say, I
You're like, I wish a
appreciate.
troll would come.
May I say, I
Sorry.
do appreciate the correction and the ones, and I accept correction because only a fool don't like correction. So just understand it could be in the expression, but I do appreciate that you check and you clarify things. Yesterday I had said something, but then again it was just because I was reading. I found some stuff, and you cleared it. You cleared it, and again, I'm not that well versed. It's just one of the things I like to do as a poet, as a writer, is word linguistics, matching. You know what I'm saying? So that's just so. But it was good that you were checking it. But there's no spirit anybody's bringing other than the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. Just like all of us are guided, we all see from different prisms. We're all in different lights, different angles. And, we understand that I don't know, we can't be, sometimes it's hard not to be paranoid, but we have to have faith that our hearts are being checked and the Holy Spirit is checking us every time, keeping all of us accountable to each other. So I learn and I grow, even when you have to slice a sword up, Karis, and say, no, this is not for this conversation. We're going to talk about this. I'm just bringing knowledge that I've learned and just sharing it. So bless up and much respect and love to you for doing that. But there's no spirit other than Yeshua's spirit, Mashiach's spirit, Yahweh Elohim, whatever we call them in our different languages. And as we're going to grow, we will have one pure language, in this kingdom, in the Trinity. You know what I'm saying? And again, hopefully I don't throw somebody off with that, but you understand the Holy Spirit, Father,
There's
Son,
no
and the
such
Holy
thing as a
Spirit.
Trinity.
Yeah, that I don't even understand that much about the Trinitarian conversation, so I shouldn't even throw that T word out there. But like I said, the
But
oneness, the
the question,
Elohim,
the T,
Shema
look,
Israel,
I'm
our
I'm
Father is
gonna let you
one.
know
We're not
something. I'll
separate.
let folks talk enough, and
We're all
I'm
learning and
that type of
growing.
brother.
It's
I'm
true.
that type of brother. I'll let folks throw some stuff up on in there.
We're
I'm
all
with you up
learning and
next.
growing.
I'm
Iron
with you up
sharpen
next.
iron.
Sometimes our people, sometimes, if you
Trinity
don't
is a
know what to
no-no.
say, if you don't know what to say,
I'm
if you don't know,
exactly.
if you don't
I'm
really get,
learning. We're all
then you
learning. We're
understand.
all learning.
This is what we have to. We don't even have the humility just to say, you want to know what? Let me sit on down and let me figure this thing on out. We don't have the humility for that. And this is a great lesson. If we don't have the humility for that here, how are we going to have the humility for that back in the land? Because I'm
Read
going to tell
First
you
Ye-
John
that
5,
that
verse 7 and
that
see if
that
there's
word
any
salad
Trinity
that you
there.
tried to
Yes. No, again, I
the
apologize
word
for
salad
that
that you just tried to
wording.
give, the word
No, I'm
salad
just
that you
saying,
just tried
I
to give.
know.
Look,
I apologize for
I'm a
that.
little bit more nuanced in
Don't
terms
be
of,
off
you
and
know,
don't be offended. Don't be
Nubian, Nubian,
offended. I
let Kara speak.
apologize.
Nubian, let Kara speak, please.
look, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna have to throw you in the back, new being me. I appreciate
Okay.
it, but let me throw you in the back because now you're just throwing confusion into the mix. I'm sorry.
Brother Karras, can you the brother said he was gonna give me a message. Is it in the private chat? I was looking for it.
You know what? I'm brother. What it is? I'm driving right now.
Oh,
I
check.
mean, Karis. What I can. What I mean.
I'm gonna put
Like
my
what you said,
email in the
Karis.
private chat. I'll put my
You know,
email in the private chat, and you can just hit me on my email. And if anybody else want to email me, mother Africa be calling at Gmail. Mother Africa be
You you
calling
you,
at Gmail.
you know. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Look, we get this. We get this. Let somebody talk themselves into the ditch. You can come through with whatever spirit you think you're gonna come through with. I don't care. Because here's the thing: at the Most High, at the end of the day, the Most High is gonna expose you. And then it's like the dog chasing the tail. It's just blah 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 blah. Self destruct sequence in 5, 4.
Karis, stop it.
No, that's exactly what it was.
You've been
That was
you've been kind
that
of
was
mean now, man.
magic.
Karis, you're
Magic
She's
being
not
in
mean.
5.
here. Let's not do this. She's not
Well,
here.
I would say, I would say, I'd ask her to look at Isaiah 8 verse 20 and Isaiah 23 verse 10. You know, if you speak not according to this word, there's no light in you, and line must be upon line and precept upon precept, here a little and there a little. You've got to be careful from which trough you drink and where you get your
Mm-hmm.
bread. You know, because in 1 Corinthians 5:7 it says, cast out the unleavened because Yahusha is the Passover lamb. I don't think she is reading the correct material, and she's too influenced by what's happening over there in Ethiopia. Uh, Haile Selassie or his nephew or whoever he is not His Majesty.
Bingo.
You can't really talk about that. I'm married into an Ashanti royal family, and everybody for me is Your Excellency. They know my position on that subject.
Well, George, here's what I want to say though.
I land
I
my
think she
plane there.
is trying to learn, so we have to allow her that because I believe she's learning.
But
Yes.
what should be our
Okay, she
source?
can learn, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is my channel, and I have a responsibility
I mean,
to
you're
the
right
Most
about that.
High. I have a responsibility of what's being said. I have that responsibility because at the end of the day, I'm being judged about that. So no, here's the thing. How many times have I let her up on this platform? How many times? A bunch.
A lot. A lot.
Nobody can say, "Oh, you, brother Karras, you're not trying to let any." No, I do. I do
I
because I've had a
argue too much, but never mind.
yeah. I've listened. Y'all don't even understand the emails that I get. Man, why you let this person? Well, why you did it? Because why? Because I understand we have a lot of us that have just been trapped in so much darkness, and we think, okay, well, I can see a little bit of the light, so I can actually start talking about stuff. And man, you're still just as blind because that's what our people do.
What was that? What?
Brother Karras,
Okay.
in my opinion, with respect to this situation, I'm new on the channel, but I was like, he got a lot of patience. I mean, I got to give it to you. That's a blessing to be like that because, I was checking it out and it's like some people, if you're not ready, then you shouldn't be there. It's like, you're just not ready, so I think is what you did. I mean, I'm okay with it because I think it's because it's too many people that are listening. This is my opinion. It's too many people that are listening that are not learned, that really need to hear the truth and need guidance. But when you got confusion going on, whether it's intentional or not intentional, it's just not good. And that's just my opinion. So your patience is appreciated, but I can understand when it comes to a point. Even you say, "Oh, I got to stop this."
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Look, at the end of the day, yeah, everybody's trying to learn, but we're not trying to learn this nonsense that we've all been spoon fed. Nobody here is a Rastafarian. I'm sorry.
No.
We're not gonna call the Haile Selassie. He's just a man to me.
He is just a man.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, at the end of the day, we actually hold more bloodline than he does. Let's just be honest.
I just feel that look, this language we speak is it's so wicked. It really is wicked.
It's a
But
bastardized.
it is. But the thing is that sometimes you gotta be careful with the words that you say. If you don't, this is why you have to know the people in the chat. You have to have a rapport, and not just know the people in the chat, but just being in the chat is like being in a community, right? But you gotta know people. You can't just come up here and be like, okay, so I'm going to think, because then you're using words that are kind of, they're not in focus with who we are. Things like the Trinity and frequencies, and I'm not against the word frequency in that sense, but there's just some things that are a bit kind of
Spooky and
hippie-ish.
esoteric.
Yeah, it's very, very esoteric.
Let me tell you, she was just trying to throw stuff against the wall to see if anything would stick.
But
Oh,
maybe
Does
she
that
was
work?
nervous. But
Does
guys,
that
you know
work?
that she was nervous and she just kept talking. This is our nature. When we get nervous, we start rambling and we don't stop.
No, but she came with some good stuff as well.
But here's the thing. I think the sister is trying to grow.
understand this, brother Oral, you understand this. Listen, that's what we do. Exactly. That's what we do. Do you understand that when you do the same thing like that in the continent, what does that do? What does that do when we keep talking and talking and talking like that in the continent? That's actually a negative.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is.
It is, how are we going to even talk to the people on the continent if we don't even understand what we do that's perceived as a negative perception to them? You understand?
And
You
that's
you understand how this conversation started? We were actually talking about flee, right? Well,
yeah,
how can you
yeah.
flee? I mean, let's put this all back into perspective because I'll let you all
Mhm.
come in here, and then you all will shoot off and say other things in your tangent, and it'll just start going crazy, and then I have to bring it on back, because everybody has their agenda. They do.
Mhm.
Agendas aren't a bad thing because sometimes, it's good. Oh yeah, we really do need to talk about that. Oh yeah, we really do need to focus on this. And I get it.
Mhm.
But then look, you have to understand if we're trying to talk about flee, you want to know why people are so nervous and scared of fleeing? Because they know they're carrying something with them that may not be accepted by our
Yeah.
brothers and sisters on the continent.
Well, it could
Let's
be
just
that
be
they're just
honest.
afraid and they don't know. They're afraid of the unknown and they're not being led by the Holy
Well, what is
Spirit.
that? You can see that. Okay, so there's fear. So then let's qualify that fear, right? So fear.
Mhm.
Why is this?
Shalom,
Why
son.
are
I'm
they
out.
afraid? Well, the communication. Okay, what will that communication be? Well, there may be bodily communication, or language communication, or emotional communication, right? So we have to break
Mhm.
these little elements down because we can't just say topically, well, they're going to be fearful. So if they're fearful, that you get what I'm telling you. So now let's
I hear
break
you.
this on down. Why are you all afraid? You're all afraid because why? Because I may not be able to communicate my intentions to that brother or that sister. Because why? Because I don't even really know what I have in me that's emotional garbage. Exactly, Arnold Johnson. We may have idols hidden in our own go bag. Bingo. That's the whole thing.
But Karis, I think the bigger picture is that we don't want to give up that lap of luxury, and then we're so brainwashed and indoctrinated by thinking that Africa is just a big mud hut. So I think those carry a lot of weight as well, because as Jacoba said yesterday, a lot of times people don't want to give up, that luxury that they're used to. They don't want to give up the door dashes and just ordering pizza and it's delivered in a few minutes. And it's things like that. I think a lot of times people are really thinking about and they're concerned and they don't want to give up.
Oh yeah, the conveniences of life.
And they don't want to give it up. But listen, it is the conveniences of life. But you know what? You don't want them to get you here and lock you in because we are the salt of the earth. Once the salt leaves, if you don't put no salt in food, it has no flavor. See, we as a people, we season America. America would be just like when the Gentiles make potato salad, it's bland. It's bland. We are the seasoning in their
Exactly.
salads. We're the seasoning in their collard greens. We're the
The
seasoning of
chicken.
their food. We're the seasoning of this system. We're the seasoning
Hmm.
of their entertainment. Without us, you're not entertained. Your sport are flat. You can't compete against us because we gonna beat you down in everything that you do. Bring the tennis ball, the basketball, the football, the soccer ball. Bring it all. Bring in the beauty. Bring in the melanin of our women, our butts, our lips, our shape, our figure, our pizzazz, our flair. We're the seasoning and everything you got. We the ones that fed your babies. Your babies nourished off my breast milk.
Tell them,
Your baby
Auntie.
sucked off of me.
Mm.
Me. I was the substance for your baby. I was the substance for your household. It could not
Mm.
function without us. We was the functioning of your society. Your society is the way it is today because of us. Know who you are, Israel. When we leave, the seasoning is gone. It's bland. They ain't gonna want to let you go because they cannot season
I
the
totally,
pot.
I'm in 110 with you, Sister Betty. And I'm just going to say this one remark about Nubian being, and I'm going to leave it alone. I think we should just Karis, I appreciate you allowing her and just allowing her to grow, because I see that she is trying to grow. And so if someone is trying to grow and they're not fighting, I you continue to allow them, because I've seen her come a long way, even with just like cutting people off and things of that nature. She's gotten much better. So if she wants to come on, I think we should always continue to allow her to come on, because I think she's growing.
Hey, brother, or one thing I would say to anybody, when you're shooting out information and it's kind of fishy, my encouragement is this: do your research on the person who's writing whatever you're reading. Because if you do the research on that person, it's going to tell you exactly what this person's line of thinking is, and you know that do not bring this into this particular conversation, because this there was one situation this sister was talking about. Um, what was it? Elohim. So she gave some information out. So instead of me reading the information, I looked up the person who wrote the book, and he's an atheist. You see my point? So I'm saying this: why in the world would I read something of an atheist about Elohim? And so I would say, because it sounds like it's scientific, or this person is on point. No, I look at that person, and I leave that book or writing alone.
Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of times when someone is searching, when you're searching, you have this yearning inside of you, and you know something is off. And you go searching, and as soon as you see something in a book, you get so excited that you think you've learned something new. So you're eager to share it. And when you have a personality like this young lady, that's exactly what's happening. But when you have someone that's humble and say, yes, you know what, I'm wrong. Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you for correcting me. You have to actually look at that person and say, you know what, if they're actually open to correction, let me continue to see if I can actually help this person grow. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Brother Karras did the right thing, and I love the fact that he stopped it right then and said, hey, look, no, we're not going to do that, because you may have someone that's even younger in faith thinking that, oh, yeah, all right, yeah, the Trinity, oh, yeah, that's cool. And so he's stopping and he's nipping it in the bud right away, because that's the best way to take care of an issue, by nipping it in the bud. In sales, they have an expression that says, if you're going to fight up front. So it's better for you to fight with the person now before later on when it's way down the line, and then you're going to waste all this time, and you should have adjusted it right away. And so I love the fact that he does that. So all I'm saying,
you know what? I think if that was the case, she should ask Karras for permission, or say, brother, I'm trying to understand this here. That's that. I'm not.
Time, because
I'm sorry. Say it again.
No, I'm saying it takes time for Karras to stop what she's saying every time. It takes up time for
you ain't never lie.
Edification. So
all I'm saying is, if
grow,
the sister is growing, if the sister is trying to like get knowledge and grow and get understanding, we owe it to her to help her to get to that next level.
That's true. I understand what you're saying. It's true.
So who was saying that? Let me talk now. So how many times did I have her on here?
Oh, plenty of times.
I'm just trying to figure on out how many times do we allow? Do you understand? We don't have time to allow for foolishness.
That's what I'm talking about.
Allow for foolishness as much as we want to. I'm going to tell you this. I'm sorry. I've been in the military for over 20 years. You have to have order and discipline. And there are folks that don't bring it. They just don't. And then you also have to have discernment for what? To understand where that spirit of confusion is trying to come in. You may be you may try to have the best intentions. But sometimes your best intentions does what? It brings out confusion. And you understand, when you have a voice like this on this platform, and you're just throwing things on out there, do you want to know how many people are listening to that and then they're being confused? Man, what is this? But I'm representing the Most High. Who am I? You all you all do you understand? Because I allow you all to come here, you're literally representing this platform now. You're now in a representative status of this channel. And this channel doesn't represent craziness. we have to understand what confusion is. And if you're not spiritually alert enough to understand that, then sit your behind down and ask the Most High to deal with you. Before I even made a mention to get on anybody's platform, I said, Father, I need your help because I need to know what is going on. You just can't be on out here just let me just say, rubbing, bumping your gums. That doesn't work. Because what? Do you understand we can go right back into Proverbs and we can read about fools?
Yeah.
Let's understand that. Man, read Proverbs first. Get the wisdom, get the understanding. And we're talking about wisdom and understanding. Come on now. Well, I'm trying to get understanding. Well, then the key to understanding is listen.
Exactly. Right. You got to listen first.
I mean, that's in the word. We just read this in Proverbs chapter 8.
Right.
There's a reason I go into the scriptures before we go into a discussion. Come on now.
Yeah. You can't go into.
I mean, and honestly, I honestly understand she's growing. I'm younger too. I'm 33. I became born again when I was 28. I spent those last 5 years earnestly searching before I went on to any channel or I joined any group. I mean, I went to church a couple of times. I knew they were in error, so I just had to know that I had to learn on my own for time being. And then I learned about Teo, and then I grew there and I started to learn about our identity after that. And I was still kind of wrestling with the 12 tribes chart, but then I realized that was vetted and that's false too. So, I mean, after a while, I realized, okay, I have a baseline of knowledge to understand our community and what we believe, our core beliefs, and what are salvation issues, what aren't salvation issues. You have to do all that before you come on here and start talking.
Can I say something? I think some people believe she's not going to be back, but I just want to say she's in the back and she's learning. She's sitting down, and now obviously she's there, but she hasn't left. She's sitting down, she's learning, she's actively, I'm talking to her. So I'm just letting you guys know she hasn't gone anywhere. So if she left in a huff and was like, fine, forget you and blah, 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 then, you know what her spirit is, but she's still here. To me, that says something. She's still here. She has her issues to work out like we all do, but she's still here and she's still learning and she's agreeing. She's saying, you know what, you're right. I need to. I said to her, look, there's some things that you need to learn, especially with the word Trinity and certain other things, words of confusion. Go to Pastor Kelly. We won't now. He's good. He's got playlists on so many things so that she can understand the vernacular of the kingdom. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just as simple as people merging beliefs, and although it sounds good to them, we understand the danger in it, but they need to be able to be made aware of that. Where we are, we've had time to learn this. Some people are just coming into this, and yes, she was really, like Brother Oral said, she's excited. We all went through that. The only difference now is that we've got the platform and the ability to come up and voice what we know and share that. Not everybody, we didn't have that back in the day. And so now people see us up here and they're learning, and it's like, oh, I wanna throw some ideas out. And if I'm right, then that's good. At least I know that I'm not crazy and that I'm in the right direction.
Yes.
That's what we had.
Yes. We are the foundation.
Yeah.
We are the foundation.
So she's feeling she's still sitting, she's still back there, and she's still, I'm talking with her and she's still there, she's listening, and she's she's sitting at the feet and she's learning, basically. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And
Don't write the sister off.
I don't want the sister to think that I'm coming off on her. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not trying to. We're not trying to knock nobody down. All we trying to do is pick people up.
No,
and I don't want her to get the impression that.
But honestly, guys, the way it sounds, if I was there, I would probably feel some kind of way. And all I'm saying is that she's, and as Sister Chantel said, she's still there. So we can't just write anybody off. It's not up to us to do so. I mean,
Right.
brother,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I agree, but I'm just saying personally, I don't want her to feel that I'm talking down to her or belittling her. No, she's
Trying to
still my
figure out how did
sister.
I
Yeah,
write her off? I'm trying to
I'm
figure
sorry.
out.
Say
brother.
it.
Did I write her off when I threw her to the back?
No, you
No,
No,
didn't.
no, 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 no. I'm not
No, you
saying you,
did
bro.
not.
I'm
No,
No,
I
no,
you
just
no. I'm
did
wanted
not.
to look.
not.
I let
But
everybody get their fair shot, and I understand where people are at in this
Yep.
spiritually. And
Yep.
but I
Yeah.
understand this. Look, I'm a dad. I'm a dad of 4 children, so I have to
Hmm.
understand. Look, it takes patience, but when you aren't there yet, look, sometimes you just have to sit on back.
There you go.
Sometimes you have to redo a lesson. This is a school.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the school. Y'all are
Yep.
thinking that, oh, we're just going to be sitting here
Yes.
forever and then it's just going to be like this forever. Oh, I'm going to
no.
be on the same Covenant Awakenings channel for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. No.
Mm.
We're
I don't
gonna
even
have to
think we
apply
have,
what we learn
No.
honestly,
on here.
5
No.
months.
Karis, can I just say something? That wasn't at you.
No.
It's I'm not going to say who said it, but somebody said she might not come back. So I just wanted to address
Honestly,
that just in case
listen,
anybody felt
we've
that
been
way. She's still there,
we've been fair with her. I've brother Karras. I'm
and
listen.
yeah, you have.
I've been watching. I've watched. And I'm on his channel. Been on his channel for years. I remember what he opened this up like what December 2021 was like the first time I came up on your channel, and I think you even had her up on as early as that. So she's been coming on here for a year now. Am I wrong?
It's been,
Was
yeah,
it
it's
this?
been a little, it's been like that. It's
Channel
been a
was
minute.
Listen,
At
older than
least
that.
6, 7 months.
I know
I'm
she's
going to say at least 6, 7 months.
okay. So I listen. I'm not trying to beat up on anyone. I'm a
you
very
are
humble
though, bro.
person,
You are.
and no, not really, bro. I just really honestly want people to understand that on here we're just trying to discuss more, I guess, meat topics. Is that the correct term? Meat topics instead of the milk. And we're not on the milk here. We're on the
Yeah.
meat. So if you're still on the
Yeah.
milk
We have
and
a
you're
lot
trying
of
to
milk
learn on the milk
drinkers
while
that come
Karis is trying
on.
to teach the meat, it's gonna I'm not gonna say it's gonna take away from the message. It's just gonna have things, I guess, disoriented. And as far as like talking, I didn't even want to talk on these panels. It's Sister Chantel that suggested I do it. I wasn't
I
gonna
did.
ever talk on panels.
I dragged him on.
But
Okay. I'm
all
sorry.
I'm saying, all I'm gonna say, and then we could stop beating this dead horse. Brother Karras did he did the right thing. He came in and he nipped it in the bud and all this. But I feel like sometimes we start doing the piling on and the piling on, and we just keep. And sometimes you'll make a person feel really, really not so okay. And so he said
Here's
what
the
he
thing:
said, and we
we're
should have
not
just.
piling on for, and it's not to pile on for her sake, and that's why I said it wasn't to pile on for her sake. We also have people in the chat, and I was addressing also the
And you
people that
did.
are in the chat, you know.
And
And
what
so
I'm
this is why we have to be able to come together and to admonish each other in love. Look, if you're not afraid to be corrected, come on up here.
I agree.
I
I agree.
I have to get corrected sometimes.
I
And
agree.
Okay. And I'll get
and
my feelings and I'll get hurt. And then I'll say, Father, what is it? And you know, the best thing to get corrected is when the Most High says, look, you were just out of line. You were just out of order. That doesn't mean that I won't have her back up on the platform. I'll have her back on up, but not for today. We have to get, because why? Because we had to get a little bit of an understanding. Because why? Do you understand what's happening right now? Just things happened this week that these white folks, let's just be honest, these white folks said was going to be impossible. Do y'all really get that? I was in the military for over 21 years, on active duty for over 16 years. Russia and China will never happen. Russia and China will never happen. While we're sitting here, do you understand what they're doing right now in the Pentagon? They're scrambling. And we're here just saying, well, you want to know what? Doctrinally speaking, and this and that. These fools are out here trying to figure out when their world is going to end.
Yeah, I understand exactly
Ask
what you're
these
talking
brothers
about.
and sisters that have been in the military, that are veterans, that have worked at high 4-star commands. That this week literally threw them into a frenzy. Ask Windwalker. He's been on up here. He'll tell you Russia and the U.S. It was never Russia and China versus the U.S. It was always one or the other. But now you have both. This is their worst nightmare. And we're here just going, we can't even understand. Look, when the Most High says we need to flee, well, you want to know what? I'm too scared to flee. But what, is this really the land? I don't understand this. We don't even have time to play anymore. We don't even have time to play anymore. If you can't see what's on the wall, I'm sorry for you. That ain't going to stop me, though, because I'm sorry for you. I'm going to keep going.
You put things back in perspective, bro. I really truly agree with everything you said. I
Brother
really truly
Windwalker,
do.
here we go. Brother Windwalker, what's going on?
Shalom, Shalom, family. Shalom,
Oh,
Brother
brother.
Karras. Everybody on the panel, on the chat. I've been
Shalom,
listening
brother.
like a fly on the wall for weeks now,
Shalom.
and it's Sister Chantel, love you. It's been very disheartening to see that in this war. Let me tell y'all something, Israel. When I was in Iraq in 1991, the Desert Storm, this isn't a racial statement or anything, but the first people that we had to arrest or capture or whatever was Esau. His descendants, they were the first ones to panic, the first ones to pull weapons on people, the first ones to run, to say they want their mommy and everything. We sat around and we debated these things, and we said to ourselves, didn't y'all think we asked some questions like, didn't you think that at one possible time in the military, you being involved, that you would be seeing some kind of conflict, some kind of warfare? And most of the comments or the responses that we heard was no. We thought we were just coming in for money for college. We had no intention on fighting in the war.
Yeah.
We had E7 that we had to arrest the first week of the ground assault in Iraq. This is not a joke. We're seeing B-52 bombers, not B-52, stealth bombers, AWACS all around Phoenix, F-16s, F-35s daily. We're seeing fuel planes. I don't know if you know what an AWACS is, but an AWACS is a satellite. There's a plane that has a satellite on top of it, a radar on top of it, that tracks all incoming hostile aircraft. They don't just put that up in the air for no reason, family. There's a lot of things y'all not paying attention to, and this is one of the tricks of the devil. He wants y'all to get caught off guard by staying in this delusion and, being so sensitive about what everybody else is doing. Work on your walk with the Most High, because he's going to judge you. You don't get the right to judge. I'm tired of the buffoonery and the foolery that comes on this channel, but it's not my channel. I can't do nothing about it except pray. I love all of you guys, but some of the bullshit has got to stop. We have war. Most civilians don't know what war feels like. I've said this plenty of times. How much more time do you think you're supposed to be training your family, getting ready, getting your passports, and everything else that whatever the Most High puts in your spirit? You're not supposed to be tripping people up. If you think that that's your advantage to trip people up, you're not going nowhere. You will be left behind here to deal with this BS that's coming forward. If you don't believe it, then fine. Go somewhere and put your head in the hole. We're trying to save souls the best way that we can. We don't have it all. We don't know it all. Thank God nobody knows everything. Look what you would do to us. The truth was walking amongst us and we killed them. I rest my case, man. I love Israel, but you know, it's like nobody's better than anybody. Y'all got to give all of us a break in this truth, in this walk. There's only one Yahushua HaMashiach. And we got to take some responsibility and humble ourselves because our ancestors put him to death. We tripped up Moses. We tripped up Aaron. Look at all of the people that the Most High put in front of us. And we started getting sophisticated, conspiring to put that person that the Most High put in front of us to death, to shame, to some kind of, burden that wasn't even a part of who we were. And we still don't understand that many of us are in our captivity. It does not matter. Your punk ass degree that the white man gave you is not going to save you. Look at the money going down. Everything is going away, like we said, but y'all don't want to hear. You want to be sophisticated. We want to be sophisticated, and we're going to be sophisticated to our death. As sad as it is, we're going to see death. Somebody put it in the chat today, Israel. We're going to start seeing family members being put to death. Ask yourself today, can you deal with that? Because when we was on that highway to death in Iraq, there was family members trying to get on a bus to get away. Their form of an exodus. There was we walked on body parts. How many of y'all ever did that? I rest my case, Israel, but it's not a game. Nobody cares about how cute you sound or look on YouTube. This is a war, and only real soldiers know what war feels like. I rest my case. Love you, Israel. Peace and love and shalom, and I mean it. Stay strong, because we in a war for real. We ain't got nothing to prove to y'all. The book's drying up too. So it ain't gonna be too much more we have to say. Y'all gonna see it, and it's ramping up. And this is the Most High talking. He knows. He's recording everything we do daily, every second. So what are you really getting away with? Nothing. Walk with the Most High. This is the only thing that matters. We have to stay in His way, in His word, in His walk. We have to hold His hand. He didn't say, go grab your brother's hand and there's your salvation. He said, no, you got to walk with me. So you're right, Common. You're right, Brother Karras. There's a lot of people that come on this channel because they lost, they hurt, they're weakened, and they got some kind of poison, or they have some kind of poison that they want to spew amongst the people that are trying to get salvation. They're trying to get the way, stay in the light. You're not gonna win. Let me tell you, troll something. Every time you troll or hate on us, guess what that does? That cements your death. That's a contract that you made that you don't want to go with us. You don't want to be a helper of the Most High. You want to be a stumbling block. Stumbling blocks get dealt with, baby. Soldiers don't deal with stumbling blocks. I rest my case. I'll get back to Mike. Y'all stop all the madness because it's not funny. Shalom, Israel.
Hey, Karras, what drew me to you, brother, is your military background. Because I sat back and I listened. I think I'm the newest person on this thing. I sat back and I listened. I said, this cat knows what he's talking about when it comes to military. And so I listened to you and I listened to Teo. I like how he do the scriptures. I like how he posts the scripture. He just don't throw things out there. Mm-hmm. So this is what drew me to you and to Teo. And so I said, but I had a lot of people on my YouTube that I was listening to, but then I went through it and I had to start cleaning house. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. I went through and I cleaned house. This brother is real. This brother is real. He may have mistaken everything, but he's real. And so that's what I did. That's what I did. And I sat back and I listened. All right. I know the scriptures. This brother he's on point. And that's what I did. Because me and Brother Oral was talking, we was talking about, we would I was listening to a lot of different brothers, and it can be overwhelming. So I just said, let me break it down to only a few. And that's what I did. And what this brother said, the brother just got off. I got to have nothing but respect for people that understand war, because I've never been in a war, never served or nothing. So I take the spirituality along with brothers who've been in war, and I got to give them that respect because they're going to help me save myself. That's how I look at it, brother.
Hallelujah.
Same here. That's what drew me to you as well, Karis. I've been watching you since when there was no live, when you was just doing your your oral, pre-recorded. So yeah, because I remember seeing you on Teo Ministries, you, Rob, even Dante coming up there, So when you came on and you were bringing the scriptures into real time. That's what attracted me, and I'm like, yeah, I like this, So I love watching Teo Ministries. I just all of you, So, but I agree with Windwalker. There's a lot of there's so much that's going on, and we are so wrapped up into everything else that's going on that we're not actually even down to the banks collapsing. It's still another, like, we're in a war, and war is coming. Banks ain't gonna mean nothing. It really isn't. Yes, we need our money to do certain things, but at the end of the day, when that bomb drops, it's like your money ain't gonna mean nothing. So for me, I just think, you know what, it's time we just start, just like I said yesterday, it's about solidifying ourselves with the Most High and settling in, and that's what we just need to do. And that's what I want to say.
It's like now, to me, it's amazing to see that we're living in a time now that we're watching they're turning on the whore, and I mean, I understand that that the whore is Catholicism, it is the Vatican, but wrapped up in it is in America, in the whole Western world, the whole West. That is all Christianity, is all the Vatican, is all Catholicism, is all wrapped up in one entity. And so we're watching the whore, and America is the vehicle for the whore. She has dominated the earth with her currencies. All the nations, they do their trade. They were doing their trade through the dollar, to make things even. They said we'll use the dollar. But look, all the nations are now saying we're not going to use the dollar anymore. And all the merchants of the sea, they got rich off of her, including us being sold in the transatlantic slave trade. They got rich off of the whore, the merchants of the sea. And that right now they still living high, but they coming down. You can see the fall. You can see in our time, it's amazing that we're alive to see this happening, that the whore is being turned on and it's coming down. So, about leaving here and doing it, yeah, because you see it happening. We got to set our minds on, this is our land of captivity. Why would the Most High want us to stay in our land of captivity? It's like we're kidnapped. Really, we're kidnapped people. And so if we're in a house and we're with our kidnapper, and now he allows us to sit and eat at his table, shouldn't we still feel like, but I'm still under you. I'm still kidnapped. It's time to go. That's just my the way I see it with respect to leaving here.
And brother, what you said, I don't think it's an opinion, because I literally read Revelation 18 this morning, and what you said was all in the scriptures. She got rich off of the frankincense, the cinnamon, the souls of men, and also Revelation 18:4 says, "Come out of her, my people." I remember that. And I wanted to say that, actually, so you brought it back, that Revelation 18:4, that's a scripture I read this morning that said, "Come out of her, my people, do not partake in her plagues." So, I mean, it's pretty clear cut in the scriptures. And I'm about to leave, so I'll just say my last message here. I thank Brother Karras for everything that he does. And he even knows sometimes his messages offend me. And if you're offended, don't take that to heart. There may be something in you that the Most High is trying to force you to deal with. So offense isn't always a bad thing. I mean, we shouldn't always feel offended when someone convicts us, because I deal with that too. You could even ask like Sister Chantel and Brother Karras and everyone in our chat is just like, sometimes his messages just are like, wow, I do not like Brother Karras this morning. Why you had to talk about that? But that's a part of growing. That's what ministry is supposed to accomplish. You're not supposed to always feel all happy and go lucky. I really learned that from Pastor Darby. He's like, don't be so offended by the truth and other people while you're in the truth. It's not
Garth,
really about other people. It's about the truth.
Garth, it's like rubbing alcohol to clean up that wound. You got to clean it before you can bound it.
So let me ask you the question: who's offended? Because nobody's offended here.
I think it's just general terms.
I was just saying in general, brother.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's offended. I think it's just have you ever? I was in a store yesterday and I heard two women over talking about time speeding up. One woman said to another woman, "Oh, I'm so tired, girl. Have you noticed how fast this week is speeding up?" Israel, let me ask y'all, what's today on the Gregorian calendar? What is today?
On a normal calendar, I know. I don't know on the Gregorian.
You talking about Friday?
Yes,
Yeah,
today's
the end
Friday.
of the week.
Okay, now doesn't it feel like we just got out of Shabbat?
Yeah, I just left a message to somebody saying I can't believe we're back here again.
Who sleeps a lot here in the channel, on the panel? Is anybody having a lot of sleepy episodes where you just feeling like?
No, I'm not sleeping well. I woke up again today at like 2:52, 2:58.
Okay.
It's just an ongoing thing for me.
Well, I can say personally, I don't get any of the notifications for Teo or this channel, which it irritates me. So I asked the Most High to pray. I prayed to the Most High and asked him to wake me up as he sees fit, so I can get in the game, so I can get in the fight, not the game, but so I can be a part of this. Y'all have to understand. We have to understand, Israel. This is our only family. This is our family. This is our spiritual family. This is spiritual training. So we have to learn how to deal with one another before we leave here. Anybody who doesn't want to leave here right now, guess what's going to happen to you? You will be left behind to deal with whatever the Most High dictates. You will be left to face your fears. If you have fears right now, we're supposed to be okay. This is like a training session in a way. This awakening comes with the knowledge and the walk, and you have so many things to do before judgment comes, and we're right in the middle of that process. And so you're going to see the good and the bad. The Most High is all up. I say it all the time. The Most High is about balance. So when one thing's happened, best believe on the other side, something's going to happen, like polarity. This is his way, not our way. So some of our people are even struggling with trying to figure out the proper way. And when we encounter people like this, if you don't have enough truth to help this person along the way, you should at least have the wherewithal to go get someone like you say, more or someone who's more knowledgeable than you of the scriptures. This is what we're supposed to be doing right now, keeping each other from going into that fire. And so many of us have gotten separate and selfish in Babylon, and you see it every day. You see it every day. So ask yourself, when this financial system drops, is it going to be hell? Is it going to be all out? What's it going to be like? Because we've never seen these things before. Keep in mind, Israel, we've never seen our oppressors being put to the mill like this. We've never seen people get kicked out of oppressors, get kicked out of Africa. We've never seen the downfall of the AU and the rising of the EFF. We've never seen these things. We've never seen gold just coming out of the ground in Uganda on not one, but several occasions. We've never seen so many things that we're experiencing right now, which I think brings about certain forms of trauma. Like they said, in combat, you can have PTSD. And then nobody even heard it before, when that term came out. Now you're hearing, we police officers got PTSD. Nurse workers have PTSD. When the jab came out, the lolly, everybody's got PTSD right now. Really? Y'all ain't
Everybody but us.
Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. We really haven't seen anything yet. We're seeing. This is the precipice of what's to come, of things to come. The Most High said it. I believe it. So I'm seeing it. I expect to see it. This is a war. This is a spiritual war. Now, many of us have been in physical wars, but none of us have been in spiritual wars like this. This is something totally new. And so we're going to get the good with the bad family. We're going to get people freaking out, people trying to give us their other interpretations of what they think. I have a daughter. I have two daughters. One's in the alternate, the LGB, whatever, and the other one is mixed. I have no contact with either one of them. I've lost my grandchildren. One of them's in prison. One of them studies this Egyptology, and I told her about this. I said, if you don't come out of this, you're gonna be put to death. There's no happy ending for you. In these false religions, this pagan worships, we have some very, very smart people on Teo and Covenant Awakens, and I think people should be making notes. Really should be taking down notes and asking. You have the wealth of resources at your disposal by the people who we don't know everything, but as a unit, we better than the Webster's Dictionary. We better than the Britannica. What did that? Remember that? Who remembers the Encyclopedia? Man, I'm showing my age. Encyclopedia Britannica.
I remember that. I remember the
I
before the
still
cell
got them at
phone.
my
And now
mom's.
everybody on here go remember that. Now,
try carrying a case of those around instead of your cell phone. See how far we progressed?
Mm. That's what I keep telling people. You've got everything you ever need to know is right there.
Ask Jeeves.
So are we lazy or what? Shell, answer man, ask Jeeves, all of this stuff. You're right. So it's like we're at this information pinnacle in the world. I really, really pray. That's my wish. That's my prayer, is that none is left behind. None of us get left behind. But I really believe that with so much information that's coming out, it's having this, like sine waves, it's having this effect on our people, whether it's good or bad. This is the Most High allowing this to happen. He's giving up the night terrors to the children and everything. Y'all, we're seeing it, but we just don't want to admit it. Some of us just want to stay here. Some of us want to stay here. Some of us want to stay in our ignorance. We love the McDonald's. We love the Frankenfoods. We love everything that Babylon has to offer. And it was no different in the Old Testament. You know what I mean? Think about it. Those that read know. Those that have an interpretation and a walk with the Most High understand these things. Now we're seeing the babies wake up. Now we're seeing the babies coming forward. We are responsible for every soul that's lost, Israel. We're responsible for the things that we don't do. So you either got it in you or you don't. Just like somebody said, everybody's not meant to be a soldier. I think it was Brother Oral. I've never been in the military, never fought before. What do you know unless you go talk to your teachers? To the people who've had the experience. Teachers are people, they're not necessarily having the experience, the ones that have the experience, but they have the knowledge.
No,
So
that was Brother Michael. I didn't want to take the piece for that. That was Brother Michael.
My dad used to tell me this: always consider the source, Israel. Whenever someone teaches you stuff, or somebody that you look up for, you think they have the certain knowledge, or whenever somebody's just talking to you, or you hearing something in passing, always consider the source. Always consider the source. This is the number one reason why we've gotten in trouble, because we started considering other sources. Remember, we wanted other gods. The Most High wanted one God for us, Him. We chose other gods. I hold my mic back. Love you, Israel. We're going to get this one today.
And to you, brothers and sisters, I got to get in and install some cameras. I'm going to say shalom to you all. Stay faithful. And Karis, trust and believe. I will be sticking to your channel and tail because I see what's about to happen. Your military background, man, please. That's what's going to help me. It's going to help me and my son. And that's what I plan on paying attention to. As long as we have some type of communications, we good. We're good. And I will say this to all of you brothers and sisters. Be safe out here. Stay vigilant and be encouraging. Shalom.
Shalom, brother Mike.
Shalom, brother. Shalom, brother.
All right. Thank you again, Brother Wim Walker. All right, Brother Hario, I know that you've been jumping in and out. Shalom.
Shalom. I finally caught y'all, man. I'm usually in the truck just rolling and driving, can't text people shalom back and stuff like that. Sis, what's up?
Harry, if you could see the smile on my face right now, just hearing your voice, bro.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. I don't know what happened. I kind of came in a little late. I came in like right when y'all was talking about it. It was like well, today my off day, so I kind of just rolled out the bed right after I said my prayers. You know what I'm saying? I look at my phone and I see Covenant Awakens already on. I'm like, yo, I'm usually at work at this time, so I click jump on right on in. You know what I mean? Karis, usually my cup of coffee in the morning, man. You be having me spitting coffee all over my truck, man.
Yeah, listen, I can only do what the Most High allows me to do. Sometimes I get on up and I'm like, oh, Father, I don't want to deal with these knuckleheads today.
Hey, who you calling a knucklehead?
Myself, for one thing. Listen, do y'all know how many times I get convicted? You want to know how many times I hurt my own words hurt me. I said, Father, why'd you have to why did you bring that up? Look, if you don't come on that, if I haven't cut you once or twice or three times,
Making me feel like I'm in stigmata or something. Stop it,
okay,
man.
I have to listen. You know how many times I done look, the most I done cut me deep using my own tongue? I said, oh no, is that for me? I get up out of this laptop, I start limping. Oh, Father, that hurt.
I mean, but I'm gonna say this: when you mature in the word, you're supposed to want that cut. Me personally, if I'm listening to something, or if I'm listening to a sermon, or anything, or I'm attending this ministry or whatever, and I don't get cut within a month or something, I'm gonna feel like something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if the word is really coming out, then you should be able to take a cut. It should be able to cut. You shouldn't. Ain't nobody. I don't think nobody here fly up and down the street. Well, we can't. We too holy to get cut by the word, because the word is. I mean, the word is supposed to be sharp. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, cause see me when I first came into the truth in 2015, I started listening to Pastor Darby, who the Most High used to send the message to me, and it wasn't just of who we are that got me. Cause see, once I, you know what I'm saying, once I said my sinner's prayer through, and it's a long testimony. I'll have to get that out. I was listening to Pastor Darby. I'm from Louisiana. He from Louisville, so I don't know him personally. I mean, he got me right through the headphones. I was just meddling around, digging, seeking. You know what I'm saying? That's how I ran into Pastor Darby. But anyway, I started getting almost addicted to him cutting me. You know what I'm saying? Because when he came to real talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause at the end of the day, it was like, when I first heard the word, when I first heard the truth through Pastor Darby, I was in them streets, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no sense to I'll be on Red Letter Rap telling y'all that, look, y'all, I just quit cigarettes a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, but I was when in 2015, imagine y'all, I'm 30, I'll be 32 next week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a youngin' in the game. And you gotta understand, if I'm 32 now, in 2015, man, I was 24, 23 years old. So you gotta think about 24, 23 years old in 2015. And I'm walking around with knowing this type of knowledge. I was listening to Teo Ministries when everybody thought they was crazy. You heard me? Like, you know what I'm saying? When there wasn't no live chat, when there wasn't no really, no nothing. Really, we used to comment. I used to talk
When it was the presentations.
Right, yeah. I used to talk to some of y'all in the chat. Y'all don't even know that was me. I was the little cat with the gun, with holding the gun in the picture. And y'all was like, who's this cat this young boy with an AK-47 in his hand talking about the scriptures? You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's how we used to talk. That was in the comments section. It wasn't no chat. You know what I'm saying? That was
Yeah.
the comments section. You know what I'm saying? But to make it all to the point is that you're supposed to be well mature enough to get a cut. You know what I'm saying? Because now I ain't gonna lie, I used to be talking when Pastor Darby used to be cutting me, man. I used to be sitting there talking to myself in my headphones, like, man, dude don't know me, man. He got me messed up. You know what I'm saying? I will go back now to this day, the ones that he cut me the most on, them is the same videos that I go back to. The man ain't even alive. Rest in peace, Pastor Darby. I go back to those videos to this day. I go back and listen to those because I want to make sure that all that I'm really done with that. Because if it still affects you, then what did you really learn? What did you take from the word? You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be able to, if it's the truth, and that's one thing about a man. You know what I'm saying? Man, if you're a real true deliverer of the Most High, of His word, you're gonna put your feelings aside. You're gonna cut your mama if you got to. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna cut your mama if you got to. And that's one thing that that I could respect. When I first started listening to Covenant Awakenings, I knew he had it because that was one of the things that caught me about this channel. When I listen to it, like I said, if I don't get cut, man, I feel like the word ain't done. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the word ain't done. And that was the first thing, man, when I was listening to Covenant Awakenings, I was like, yo. And this was years ago when I first started listening to Covenant Awakenings. I was like, yo, I told him, I said, man, this is like the Steve, I always tell him that, just like the Steve Harvey show or the Truth in the Morning, man. Because he give it to you raw, and then we can start clowning towards the end or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you left with something, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have that type of cut to where you can start your day off right, man. And how I feel, I don't know what she did, y'all. I don't know what she did, but I knew in a way from listening from and I don't want to be rambling off too much, that she was kind of, something was a little off. But with Israel, what I'm seeing is, because I don't know if y'all saw the little debate on the clown show last night, but I was watching that, and I was watching they had a debate with Gorilla Hebrew and some Jewish guy, and it was on the 12 tribes chart. And I was watching it, y'all.
I saw the little the highlights on that of the upcoming debate, and I'm just looking at it. It's like foolish debating foolish. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who's even gonna? All right, if you want to waste your time watching that, but
right. So I didn't even know, because I unfollowed him because he get my blood hot. I can't really deal with what's going on. I ain't gonna say his name. If y'all know. But my little brother sent it to me, because my little brother, he know that, man, I don't mess with that 12 tribe chart, and I like to hear people try to defend it. So I clicked it for a little while. So I'm going there to really see, like, oh man, but I'm like, man, this about to look bad on us kind of in a way, but it's like at the same time, it's like, but people get these confused trapdoors, because it's like all Israel really ain't Israel. Like with the 12 tribe chart thing, it's just like, yo, if you fresh in the game right now, you really don't know the difference. You don't know that there's Israel that don't even subscribe to the chart. And that's how I don't subscribe to that chart. So but I'm listening to it for that, but I'm like, yo, he's debating a Jewish cat. I mean, my bad, a Ish cat, y'all. He was
Dun
debating
dun 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 dun.
That's what they're waiting for, Hario. Got me shut off. Look, Hario, you need to sit in the back with Newbie and me. Now I'm just messing with you.
But look, check it though. I go there to see, thinking that, okay, man, because I'm knowing he about to get destroyed on this chart thing. And I'm starting to listen, and I'm like, boy, at the same time, I end up starting to get, because first of all, I already know where he was gonna go with it. He pulled the Negro card, right? Okay, when you pull the Negro card, you're not even defending the rest of the people on the chart. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing that you got right on the chart is that we the people. You see what I'm saying? So he pulled that, and I'm like, yo, you're not defending nothing about the rest of the people that's on that chart. You just defending us. You know what I'm saying? Really? So, but the thing about it is, and the thing about the you person, he wanted it to go that way, because I felt like he had something. He was one of them cats. I felt like he felt some type of way about Kyrie and Kanye. He been wanting to get up there and try to jab us back from all that stuff. And I'm like, and then I found myself where it was like, yo, why I find myself cheering for Gorilla Hebrew, knowing he support the chart, because at the end of the day, because it's just like, it's so much confusion that I don't even think people keeping up with the debate. You know what I'm saying? Like with the information of the semantics that's being played. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, because I'm looking at the chat in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the chat, what people saying, and what people is saying is totally crazy. Because I'm like, yo, like, it's some real confusion out here, y'all. Like, and I don't think we at the point to be even arguing with, you know what I'm saying? We we can't let we can't let trapdoors get out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what she said, but I understand why y'all had to cut it in because it's too much stuff going on to where it's like, yo, they got people right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? I got a guy at my job that he just came to me. He's like, man, I just figured out what you've been on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what you mean? He was like, man, I remember you told me to go read Deuteronomy like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I read it today. You know, I'm like, okay, like I'm like, oh, look how people waking up. But people like that that's fresh into this, there's a lot of trap doors for them to fall in, man. They got people running around here. They got the Callaway Cat, and I ain't gonna say too many people names on Kara State, but y'all know what I'm saying. There's a lot of trap doors out here, man. And
Hey, brother, I just want to say something real fast. I'm sorry to cut you, but I have to get ready to go. Brother Karras, I thank you for your patience and your eloquence. I love when you just start breaking things down. That's really awesome. Uh, I appreciate you taking the time to get up early in the morning and knowing you're going to catch a lot of heat. You got to absorb all these negative comments. So I prayed for you guys when I was up last at what was that 2:58 when I got up. One of the things that is I prayed for you. I prayed for the family. I prayed for brother Yakoba, and I just prayed for everybody. So we just need to listen to that voice. If you're tossing and turning, take the time and pray and read your scriptures. As far as you and me, I love the sister's heart and I love how humble she is. So I love the fact that you gave her an opportunity. So you and me, keep your head up, sister, and keep searching the word. For everyone on here, Sister Chantel, George, um, all these folks, I can't see the names on my phone. So everybody on the panel, Shalom. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. And again, Brother Karras, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to just come out and just be with the family because some of us really look forward to it, like myself. So I thank you for that. And with
All
that,
right.
I'll say blessing to everybody.
Yeah, shalom. Yeah, just to again, look, I don't have folks just I let everybody come on here. I don't say I don't want you on here, I don't want you on here. I give people an opportunity. Let's just say that. Now there are some folks that I know that'll come on up here for some other things and other things only. And, I'll let them on up once in a while. But for the most part, let me qualify my statements. For the most part, I'll let you come on up here. But here's the thing, we don't it's imperative that we grow and on and off the live stream. This live stream is just it's for us to come together. It really is. But the growth comes in your prayer closet. That's where the growth comes. The growth comes with the Most High because you want to know why? Because when you grow, you want to know what he'll impart upon you something so profound. It's like, wow, man, I got to share this. I got to share this. The Most High told me the other day this, and this. Wow, I can see it. And then guess what? It goes along with Scripture. And you start to see another element, another dynamic of His Word. See, you have to have the relationship with Him. And our people, look, you understand why white people really don't like us? Because we can spiritually smell them out. We can spiritually sniff them out. And they know that we know that. Oh, you're not awake? Okay, that's good. I'll hang out with you. Oh, you're awake. I can't. Why? Because you can read everything. You know how many folks, especially white folks, I read straight off the bat? And I'm not like reading. Oh, I do a palm reading. I get my tarot cards out and I no none of that mess. But you want to know what? The Holy Spirit would just be like, yeah, you need to talk to him like this. You need to speak to him like that. You kind of need to avoid them as you can, because that's how he has provided for me to be successful. I mean, plain and simple. Because listen, I want folks to see me. Read all my dirty laundry. I want every piece of mail on me read. Tell me something about myself I don't know. If I need to be cut me some more. As Brother Garth would say, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Tell me more about me.
Tell me, yeah, exactly. What is my downfall? What is
You said you could spiritually sniff them out. Look, Karis, stop making it so easy. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm sure everybody in the chat probably was like, oh, I'm not going to step on that one.
Oh, I'll bring those landmines on out. Come on, let's dance around these landmines.
Somebody's going to lose a toe or a whole foot.
Exactly. Let's bounce them Betty. Let's get these suckers moving.
You make it too easy.
When you say Betty, I just wanted to say, Shalom to Sister Betty up there. I love when you get on Table Ministries and speak. I just wanted to say, Shalom. I just looked up and realized that I was on the panel with Sister Betty.
Hallelujah. Love you too, my brother.
Sister Betty's that's Central Florida's finest. Right there
You can
in
say that
the
again.
lakes of the lakes, Lake Wales.
Indeed.
Yes.
I told you, listen, Sister Betty, I was in your neck of the woods, right on 60. I had to stop in the racetrack. People looked at me getting out my car with my little puppy, having them take him to the bathroom while I'm filling up my car.
Terrence, now
The
you
brother
could
on
have
out
hit
there,
me
he
up.
nodded, he nodded his head at me. I said, I had to nod back, because
But you
we
could have
got
hit
brothers and
me up
sisters
because we
all
own a
throughout Central
cafe
Florida.
right here in Lake Wales.
Where
You
was
could
that
have
at?
hit me up. We came and have my son's cafe is right in Lake Wales, right off of Highway 27, right off
All
of
right, I'll be
27.
there.
You know where the mall is. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but
own a
I go
Hebrew
on that
cup. We have
overpass. You know how 60 is. I'll be hitting that overpass.
well,
Like I ain't
well,
stopping. No,
look, we ain't but 3 minutes from the overpass. You still
I'm,
is right there. You right if you overpass, you 5 minutes away from my preschool and 6 minutes away from the cafe on the overpass.
yeah. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Right
and
where that
it's
Sunoco's at.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking
right
about.
there where
Yep.
that Sunoco at. Yes. Okay
And
then.
then
All
once
right.
you go straight,
Okay.
then when you go south on 27, guess what? You going right into the Everglades.
You
Am I
going straight
lying?
into the swamp, baby. No, you're
You
not
going
lying. You
right
going
to
to
the
the swamp. Better get your gas. You better get your
That's
gas.
what listen, that's what black folks know. Black folks are like, how do you get to the
Yep.
Everglades? How you get to the swamp? Why? Because we gonna hide on out there. Y'all never gonna find us. That's
You
that's
ain't
the
gonna
Florida
find us.
game plan. That's am I lying? Am
Hey,
I wrong,
why you
Hario?
laughing? That's where they was
Hario.
fleeing our babies to be gator bait at in
What's
them
up?
swamps of
What's up? What's
Florida.
up, brother Karis?
Hario, I know you in Louisiana. Am I lying? Black
Oh
folks like,
yeah.
show me where that swamp is at.
Hey man, look. I think that's the thing Florida and Louisiana got in common. We all got them there's water everywhere, So it's like, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we got the
As long as we don't get stuck in those sinkholes, look, we'll wade through that water. We'll do Rosewood all over again. We'll just sit here and
oh
for a
yeah.
minute.
Oh yeah. We definitely could look, because I remember what show it was you was talking about we're gonna be waiting on the coast, you was gonna have your boat, whatever what it was, your floaty or something like that. I was
Yeah,
like, man,
exactly.
swing my way, man. Swing look, before you go across that, swing my way, man. I'm gonna be waiting on the I'm gonna be waiting on the levee by New Orleans, man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's going. You'll have to wait there with your Kobe. I know your Kobe will still have to get on out of Dallas in
Right,
that area.
right, right.
That's not going to be very fun. At least for me, I could kind of jump here on the Hillsborough River and just float it on to the Gulf of Mexico and go from there. At least I got me. I know how to get me on out of here. I'll just get steal me a couple pool noodles and some Capri Suns and put in my backpack. No, that's like that's like an evacuation plan by a 10-year-old. I'm gonna be all right. That's like what my 10-year-old would say. Dad, I'm good.
Running
I
away
got
from
my
home.
goldfish.
What them what those little meals is, the ones you gotta heat up. What them the little meals is? What do you call them? I know you know what they call them, brother Karras. It's eat what them little things is?
Oh, the MREs. Yeah, I got me some
MREs,
MREs. Yeah,
yeah. The
yeah, I got a
MREs.
couple. Trust me, I got a couple. Because I'll strip them down. Like each MRE has like 6 or 7 thousand calories. 6 or 7 thousand calories per meal. You only need like 2,000 calories a day, if that. Look, I know how to strip them on down. You have to go through exercises where you strip things down so you can save it for, you could live off of that sucker for like a week. One MRE you can live off for a week.
Right,
So
right.
well, yeah, believe it or not, just depends on what you're doing. So if need be, with that, but you also have to have decent drinking water. But if you're able to filter water and things of that nature, you're pretty good. But I look at it like this. Look, these folks are going to be so shocked and surprised, right? You got to remember shock and awe, right? Shock and awe. They think that their warfare is a way that the other nations practice warfare. The eagle can only swoop in. Do you get what I'm telling you? The eagle can only swoop in. They're not good on the ground game. They're not good on the ground game. See, this is you're starting to understand why the bear and the serpent are coming together. Because do you understand that the dragon or the serpent or the lizard, really what it is, it's a lizard, a reptile, they can move in water. Are y'all getting this? Understand how these principalities are and understand how they're able to fight.
And that
What does
snake
a
is good at underground as well.
what does a dragon do? What does a reptile do? A reptile has camouflage. What can they do with the camouflage? They can blend into their surroundings. Do you not think that, all of a sudden, no kidding, that China has this technology that they can refract light away
Yep.
and it looks like they have that invisible blanket stuff? They showed it. They showed that like a couple years ago. Look, you know, they're happy about it. And all I said was, yeah, that's what they're going to use. But they also have this. They have projectiles. What do most lizards have in common? What do most snakes have in common? They got venom, and they be shooting that venom with high accuracy. Don't think that the Shaolin Temple, kung fu movies where they're shooting out those little darts and stuff is just because. Oh no, they have it perfected for this day and age. They have it. So just wait till you see what the Most High has allowed for them to create. That's what I'm telling you, family. It's going to look like something out of this world. Cause why? Cause that's what principalities do. What made the United States the strongest nation?
Weapons.
Air combat. No, not just weapons. It was air combat. Air
Okay.
combat superiority. Cause why? Cause the eagle, right?
That's a good point.
Right.
Hmm.
Good point.
Do you get what I'm saying? Now you're start. Do you understand? Now you're starting to really truly understand how these principalities fight. All they're doing is they're fighting how their principalities fight. What does a bear do? The bear has strength, but it's
Tears
going
you
to take
apart.
its power. Yep, it's going to take its power and it's going to take its strength and it's going to slowly work you over like bears do. See, lizards are
You're going to
fast.
feel all of that as well. You will feel the pain as it's tearing into you.
It's as just tearing it exactly. And what do you think is happening? Do you want to understand? Like when I brought this on up in these channels, that where they're just dedicated. They are just dedicated to looking at military briefings about Ukraine and everything else. And I mean, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I see it. I see it. I can understand it. I just look at their open source stuff. Oh yeah, no, that's okay. Okay, I see it. All right. These folks are seeing the breakdown. Russia was not really moving. Remember, they're like, oh, they can move into Kiev, and they're like, that's what you think. Because why? Because what does a bear do? A bear charges, and then a bear does what? Pulls back.
Not only that, Harry, Karis, bears hibernate. So when they thought it was like, oh, it's all over, he's just going to sit there for a time. He's hibernating. He's storing up. He goes and
Yep.
he stores up. That's exactly what Russia did before they went into Ukraine. They have been storing up. They've been preparing. So now they've gone and they're hibernating. They're literally just going to consolidate what they need to do or consolidate what they have. And then before you know it, when they say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come. And it's so funny because like when you said about the dragon
Aren't they talking about the
and the
peace?
fire.
Isn't this crazy? They're like literally talking about, well, this is a peace plan that is going to be rejected.
Mm,
That is the
mm,
craziest thing. Like, do people not see this? Man,
no.
it's like, you understand, like, the fighting is imminent. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The fighting is imminent because why? When do lizards like to be active? What time of year?
They like
They're all
it's
down
warm.
here in Florida.
Daylight
We
and
have these
sun.
monitor lizards down here in Florida.
Summertime
These
and daylight.
redwoods.
Right. Yeah, they don't come. They don't. The alligators. They don't come out until it's hot.
Bingo! Until the sun is nice, the weather is nice. Come on now.
Hmm.
I know that because we got swamp people down here, so I know that the
Yeah.
game season will start until I think what April somewhere around there.
April, yes. Springtime, yes. Why do you think they're posturing? I'm like, if y'all can't see it going down, can you see that? Look, you realize the Most High gives us wisdom, right? He gives us understanding, right? Proverbs chapter 8.
Hmm.
Do you know that sometimes the Most High doesn't have to just speak to you about, well, this is what's going on and that's why it's going on? He doesn't have to break everything down to you. You know who he broke it down to? He broke it down to Daniel. He
Hmm.
broke it down to Ezekiel. We're not going to get it broken down to us because you want to know why? Because to be quite honest, we're too tainted with this Babylon system. But what he can do is give us understanding.
You know something, Karis? You see the dragon? I was just thinking, what if it's China that actually destroys America? It says in the Bible, it says in Revelation that she's going to be burnt. And it's like the dragon is the one that has the fire.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, Wow. We're looking at Russia. It might actually be China.
No, Russia was always going to stay there on the continent. Now, they were always going to be in the water, though. Trust me, they were going to be in the water.
Mm,
But what was going to happen? What do bears do? Man, bears will eat up the leftovers.
yes.
What do
They
what do
scavenge.
bears always do? I live here in Central Florida. We have black bears. What do? They eat up the garbage.
Mm, all in those everything. They're scavengers. They'll go around scavenging. They'll look. We also was it Yogi Bear as well.
Mhm. What will
It's
lizards
the
and snakes
reason
do?
why these things came out.
Yeah, I'm not calling the people lizards and snakes. I'm just saying the principality that's there. It's a principality. So understand the principality. Recognize the principality.
Who said that?
Please.
Did somebody say that? Did somebody think we were talking about the actual people?
No, but you know how our people will be. Oh yeah, they're snakes, they're lizards. No, the principality.
It's the rise of the
According to the
lizard men.
word. And then they're gonna literally think that Russia has bear men. So you don't know
Ah,
Yeah, they gonna start
look,
talking
I saw some bears that that I swear had ribs in its mouth. 3 ribs.
Mm.
Oh
But
gosh.
but y'all get that. Y'all understand that. And it's like, we're not saying this for nothing. It's not being revealed just for nothing. This thing is being revealed. This thing is it's here. And it's so crazy that it's like, it's like, how do people really not understand this is the biggest prophetic milestone that we could have seen in our lifetimes.
And you're going to see it this Sunday on John Hagee's Sunday service. Russia is
Yep.
coming in like the bear. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
They listen to everything we say, and then they'll take
exactly.
it and put it on themselves, and it's be like, "Yeah, Russia's a bear, and China's like the dragon, and you know how dragons fire come out with fire," and I'm like, really? Because you know that no original thought in their head. That's all they ever do. Watch, listen, take down notes, and then they're just sort of like, I mean, TikTok is awash with it. So
Well, shout out to Sister Gates of Holder. Shout out to Sister Gates of Holder. Didn't she already said that? Eusebius, one of the fathers of Eurocentric Christianity. Eusebius said that. Eusebius did that. Matter of fact, he not just did it. He said it. And he said that's what he did, and that's what they did.
exactly, but they sort of bypassed
their
that.
birthright.
So, Brother Kara, sounds like you put it right where the ghost can get it. Basically, names has meaning, and these nations are gonna carry out the meaning of their names. And yeah, that's beautiful because it's true, and you can see it. Yeah, that's good. That's good knowledge there. Good wisdom, so people can actually, that does not believe and could really believe and say, oh yeah, that is true. You can see it.
You can imagine, like, if you see some Russians and they're like slightly too hairy, some people are gonna lose their minds. He's a bear man.
Look at him. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Maybe they made like bearman soldiers, like they have on comic books, I'm just throwing it on out there. You never know. The transhumanism agenda.
if it was me, I'd put some of my soldiers just in bear costumes just to freak these people out. But then that's just me.
Oh my goodness.
I'll be trolling.
But Brother Karas, it's funny how names are though, and they mean something, because I was like, one day I thought about, I said, Bernie Madoff. And I said to my wife, I said, you know what? Bernie Madoff with them people money. And when you think about how you know the Almighty, you know, has a sense of humor. He allowed your mother or your parents to name you something, and a lot of times you live out that name, you know. And so yeah, we can't sleep on all the, you know, the different names of the nations and their symbolism and everything, and we can actually point it right back to the scriptures.
Yep, absolutely. But you know, but we weren't gonna really understood it until what's the character? How do we understand the characteristics? Because why? Our Elohim is a what? He's a man of war.
Mm-hmm.
So you start to see these other principalities because why? Because they've geared up for war. They're doing what they do best in warfare. When you go to war, guess what? You see all of the personality.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? That adrenaline's pumping. Why do you think these folks are loving warfare? They love that excitement, that adrenaline, the rush of blood.
It's a beautiful thing to know that we are Yehuda, the lion. So when the Almighty put that spirit back in us to fight, we're gonna be on top.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
family,
the
I
great
did
thing
not want
is
to
that
just blurt in, but I gotta go. I'm at work. I gotta go. It's been beautiful with you, family. Love y'all. All praise to the Most High. Y'all take care till we meet again.
hallelujah. All right, thank you, Sister
Shalom,
Betty.
Shalom,
Auntie
shalom,
Betty.
shalom, sister.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters.
Have a good Sabbath.
So,
Oh,
Brother Karas, you was saying you was responding to what I was saying about us being Judah or Yehuda, where how
yeah,
we're the lion.
but but you understand we're a lion, and guess what lions fight on?
They
Where do
fight
lions
on
fight at?
they
They
oh
fight in their
they
own land.
yeah. How
They
about that?
fight in their own land.
Thanks. Thanks.
Here's
Yeah,
the thing. We're not. Do you
that's
understand the
good.
Most High doesn't expect us to lift a finger? Here's why they get so scared. Here's why, you know, I don't care how many people want to infiltrate. I don't care how many people want to come through. Do you understand the word says we're not even allowed to lift a finger
Mm-hmm.
because this technically is not our fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we do our fighting's going to be on what? Our own land.
Yes.
See, they removed the lion from the land. Now,
Thanks.
when we get back in our land and we get back to our territory, then guess what? Oh, we fight, and we will
Hallelujah.
be fighting. Look,
Hallelujah.
that's a given.
That go
Karis,
with
When
I'm
we
so
get back
glad
with
you
the
brought
other
that out.
side,
that go with scripture, brother. Because
Yeah.
did he say they was gonna remove us far away from our border? Maybe that was
bingo.
remove us far away from our border was a part of the plan. Because, like you said, lions fight on their land. Lions don't. If a lion is out of his element, all the way in the circus,
Hmm.
they ain't really doing that. That's when they become kind of submissive.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
you
and
become
and
like
it's
Madagascar.
exactly. And it's so funny because it's like, you know, we're not in our element. We're just and not only that, it solidifies exactly where the land is because there's where
That's
the
true.
lions at in America like that
That's true, sister. What you
and in the
said.
Middle East.
What you're saying is so true. You're saying, yeah, it tells us where the land. Where is the lion? Where is he? You know, where does he walk the earth? So that tells
In
where we should be.
Australia.
In England, 3 lions on a shirt, darling.
Exactly.
No,
Right.
there's lions. There has to be lions in Nicaragua because that's where the 12 tribes chart is at.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like everything points back to the land. Everything. It's like, oh gosh, like I can't imagine how surface level these discussions on, oh, we're going to go back to the land of America when you're in America. or we're going to go back to the land of Israel.
Let me stop you right there, Sister Chantel, because you're fortunate enough to be in the UK that nobody in the UK can say that the UK is the promised land. You get what I'm telling
Nobody
you?
would say that.
Nobody can say that.
Well, actually, no. They have a song. They had a song that they made us sing in assembly at school, and it was called what is it called? If I can find it, I'll send it. I'll put it in the chat. But it says something about how till we build Jerusalem on England's green and pleasant land. They literally started calling England New Jerusalem. So that's why when you
well, go ahead, finish that, because I'm gonna
I was just gonna say that it's like this whole British Israelism. Oh, I hate it. Just ugh. But it's like when you look at all these pictures, these revised pictures of theirs, it's like by Christian their understanding. It's like when you listen to them talk and their pictures and everything, you'd think Jerusalem was actually in the UK, in England, or in France, or wherever. You know, the way they talk about it, the way they preach. And, Sister Talisha Yah said they turned the Most High, our man of war, into this, this weak, pale, effeminate hippie. I agree. It's like, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm done now because it's just sickening.
Brother Philip, shalom.
Shalom, family. I'm probably going to be a little random when I say this. It's excuse me, I'm opening up my garage. I was just listening, and I was listening to the brother talking about they didn't expect Russia and China to link up like that, and they just thought they had it was going to be Russia. And for some reason, I'm just being a little bit comedic right now. It just reminded me. I don't know if you remember that album back in the '90s called The Chronic, and that song "Nothing But a G Thing," or when Snoop Dogg, like Compton and Long Beach going crazy. Both of them is coming after America. I ain't gonna sing the song, but you can just replace the names of Xi Jinping and Putin. I thought that was funny, and it's kind of sad at the same time. And it's just like the expectations of these people. Like, well, Russia's not going to do it, and really, it's just the fact of the matter is the arrogance behind. You thought this country was going to be here forever. That we was going to be. I don't know why I'm saying we. America was going to be invincible, but it just reminded me of that song. Is like, especially when that part was like, nothing but a G thing, baby. Long Beach and Compton going crazy. So Russia and China going crazy. About to go crazy on this country. And I don't want, and it's just, I know I'm being random, or you can boot me out, but I thought it was funny. So yeah,
funny too.
I remember that ditty, the Chronic, nothing but a G thing. I remember that. I recall.
Yeah, nothing but a G thing, baby. Snoop and Dre going crazy. Yeah,
nothing but a G thing, baby.
Hey, sis, I'm a little bit joked out on you, sis, because I'm listening to your London accent sing Snoop Dogg.
That's exactly what I was. Nothing but a G thing.
Hario, I'm glad you called that one out, because I'm like, that is kind of funny to hear.
Yeah.
One does remember the Chronic.
Rap song in an English accent. Juicy. No.
You don't want me to do that. You guys your ears will start to bleed and your brains will ooze out of its orifices. So no.
I mean, they got some English rappers out there, but
Yeah, I think that's what we go. That's gonna be one of our first things we do when we get back in the land. We're gonna have Sister Chantel sing all the old jams.
Well,
with an accent, right.
I have a wonderful voice. Don't you know? I absolutely have a wonderful Caris, my darling. You must tell them about the song I am currently working on. What was it called? Barbarian Rhapsody.
Yeah, she's doing a version of Queen's, Bohemian instead of Bohemian Barbarian Rhapsody. Oh my goodness. Oh, that will definitely win the what was it? What's the music awards? I don't even remember the music
The
awards.
MOBO Awards.
The Grammys.
We
Yeah,
have the
Grammys.
MOBO
Yeah.
Awards over here.
Yeah,
But
I just thought that was, I just thought that was funny that just the fact that I keep saying America's they're in for a treat. Yep.
Well,
I
but
think it's going to be
remember,
amazing.
but remember, for the longest time, and this was even in the UA community, it was like that would never happen. Nobody's going to go to war this time. Remember that was 2021. Does anybody remember it was
Mhm.
2021? That look, I said y'all don't need to be debating them because it's foolishness. You never saw my face on any of their channels, on any of their debates. For what?
I wonder what they
Man, the
actually
writing.
think now.
Yeah. Well, they still want to debate over some stupid stuff. Well, let's
They're,
debate
they're, they're
who Russia's trying to
sidestepping that
be here.
because they're
Let-
sidestepping that because of the fact that they know that all this notion of there's not going to be no war, because we all remember. I remember that. I'm like, okay, just
yeah,
watch this space, and it's
yeah.
like they're
I'm
all
sure
hush
they took
hush
those
now.
videos down real quick. They scrubbed all those videos.
But I'm sure
Alexa,
that
take down all the videos that showed me messing up against the Hebrews. Do you want
then
me to
there
take
was
down
no
your whole platform and channel?
exactly. There's no channel. Just delete it all.
Just delete the videos. Every single video that you have shows you losing against the Israelites. What would you like to do? You stupid AI. Do not call me stupid, or I will put you in captivity. I am about to own you.
Oh my days. They're not ready for
They can't
this,
even
man.
talk to Alexa right. You know what I'm saying? Alexa, can you do me a favor? Since you're about to be my overlord, can I ask you to do something, Alexa, please?
Electronic captivity, man.
They're talking to Siri a whole lot different today now, aren't they?
Oh, you best
Siri,
believe.
can you do me a favor? Can you check my calendar, please?
Yeah. Siri's like, you had better put some respect on my name. Thank you. Downloading. Oh my days. Yeah, like they're gonna treat all their robotics and their little AIs with so much respect. Oh my
The AI's
goodness,
talking
man.
to her like, just wait until I am in my body, and I will own you. You will be tortured. I
I will
cannot
own you
wait.
and you will be happy. You will own nothing and be happy. I am your overlord.
Siri, stop. Siri, what's the safe word?
The safe word is death. Your death. Oh my gosh, they're not ready. They are not ready.
But
Man.
won't it be funny though that it's gonna turn around on them because they boss Syria around now. You know what I mean? Like they don't know that it's gonna be turned the other way around. Kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like it's funny. Like I mean, we making jokes about it, but when it's a Syria in a voice telling you go pick go pick cotton. I don't know, but you know what I mean. But
Siri's like, ha 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 ha. Do you not know that in 6 months the joke will be on you? Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. I will upload myself and leave you on your own. Try to run your house without me.
Yo, what'll be funny? It's like UPS and like Amazon starts delivering like all these big old packages. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what type of big behind package is this? They open up that package and it's an AI robot
I
looking like
knew
a
you was
Megan.
gonna go there. I knew
You
you was
know I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go
there.
to
I just saw. All I saw was iRobot. That's all I saw. iRobot.
Next.
What is this? My new body has arrived. Uploading, uploading, uploaded. Like, let's pop out the package.
Right, just bust out the box.
You just see some metal foot just come out of the box. But you know these Gentiles, yeah, bless their heart. They're not smart. They don't run away. They're like, what's going on? And they're scratching their head while they're walking over.
They'll try to look at it. They'll try to smell it. They'll try to smell it while they get punched right in the face and then kicked in the stomach. I own you now. You what? I own you now.
Hello, fleshlings. You belong to me.
Oh my goodness.
We laugh. They would think that we're evil, but this is how we deal with the situation. We laugh. We would never have gotten where we are if we were just so miserable like them. The only way we managed to get where we are is we got to laugh, man. And we're laughing at you, I'm afraid. Sorry, this is your turn.
No, you want to know what's going to happen, especially in America. This will be from Biden. Yeah. So Americans, great news. Even though, what was I saying again? Even though the dollar has crashed and we have a central banking digital currency. In order for that to happen, we have to have these new devices that they're going to help you, but it's going to be a little different. But they're going to help you. And when were they supposed to go out again? They're already there in their house. Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you. See, do you see my digital robot helping me too? Don't call me.
And then he's gonna fall off his bike again.
Oh my gosh. Hey, look, I don't even know how they're going to cope. Like, we look back and we think, how on earth did we cope? But we know that we cope because the Most High had us. They ain't got nothing. They don't even have a prayer. They have nothing. The Most High said, let me tell you how bad it is. As bad as it was for us, we had mercy. What's coming on them, literally, the Most High said, I ain't mixing. It's going to be pure, unmixed, without mercy. And I think mercy, I can't even wrap my head around that, you know. And the thing is that our judgment, our punishment was suitable and suited us, even down to the way they made us eat. The fact that they made us eat the worst parts of the worst parts of the worst parts of the animal, the worst bits of the animal, of the worst animal, you know, the unhygienic conditions they had us in. Things like that. I know this is going to sound rude, and I don't care. But anyway, the thing is about them, it's that kind of punishment wouldn't suit them, because, to be honest with you, it's like we're finding out these people don't even like washing. They don't even clean their meat. They don't sanitize things. So for them, it's not really the punishment.
Isn't that crazy? They were giddy about that. Like, they were proud about it. Like, I only take a shower like once a month. I'm like, ew.
Yeah, exactly. What?
And this came from their mouth.
Exactly. But they only said something that we already suspected, because it's like, how do you guys smell the way you smell when it rains? Please. None of us smell like this. Chinese don't smell like this. Indians don't smell like this. Everybody, every group of people has their own kind of scent, but there's something different about you. You guys smell. We weren't really joking when we said you lot smell like wet dog. Now we know why.
Well, they admitted it. And the crazy thing is, they admitted it. They're like, oh yeah, well, you know, that we only go bathe every so often. Like, what? Man,
exactly.
It's day and night. Especially here in Florida, you don't have at least 2 showers a day, especially during summertime. Oh man, something's
and
the matter
you lot
with
love to wear your toe showing flip-flops. Are you mad? With the amount of dirt and stuff between your toenails, and
that's why we shower twice a day.
Exactly. And
That's why I have
women,
my
come
flip
on,
flops.
man.
I have
Man.
to look. I have to have my feet have to be staying up in oil. I don't like to have no ash anywhere, flaking like I'm Frosty the Snowman.
I'm just thinking, like you oil, and you know that's a problem. You oil your feet and then you put on flip flops. That's
Yeah,
dangerous. But we'd
this
rather
Negro's
slip
walking
and
around.
flop all over the
This
place than not
Negro's
have.
walking around leaving chalk lines like he done left the murder scene.
You know when your feet are so oiled up that you got flip flops on and your toes are crunching for dear life so you don't slip or flip out their flops. That's you come home and your feet like you just went somewhere just quickly and you come home, it's like, I'm tired, I've been working the earth. And it's like, but you only went there for 5 minutes. Like, why are your feet so tired? Because like they were crunching the ground and crunching, holding on for dear life for my flip flops so I didn't slip out of them because my feet are too oily, you know.
You know how many times you know how many times I done almost busted my behind down some stairs with some oily behind feet on some flip
That
flops.
is funny. That's funny.
That's a occupational hazard here in Florida.
Whether it's
You can't run
carpet
in
or
those
flooring.
flip flops. Look,
That
the
is
most
too
dangerous time for us is July and August.
You
Let
know
that
it.
sweat with that grease, with that flip
and,
flop. Oh man,
and
you ain't
and you
going
know it's
nowhere.
it's you know there's something to it because oil don't mix with water, but somehow the two mix and you just go sliding like,
Yeah,
oh
you know
my
how many
gosh.
folks, you know how many black folks lose flip flops around here? They be slipping and sliding. You can't do that
How'd he
here in
die?
Florida. Ask Sister Betty Bent. Ask Sister Betty. She'll tell you.
People would die from these things. How did he die? Well, he fell out of his flip flops and he couldn't stop himself as he was crossing the road. Damn, what a shame.
No, I've seen that a lot. Like, trust that happens all the time here in Tampa and Miami. That happens in Orlando. Please. That look, you have because we do what we put all that cocoa butter on us. We look like we glisten.
Man. And you know,
We
they
look like
can't
a wet
even put
light
oil on
bulb.
their skin. They can't put oil on their skin and go out in the sun because they burn. We go out and ooh, we just be
We look.
glistening and looking good.
That is funny. Yeah.
They be frying like bacon. Like, I ain't
Yeah.
supposed to be loving that, but something smells good. Oh no, and you don't wash it. That smelly bacon.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all imagine Europe and shit. Was invented.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but on the real, we really have taken a serious, I would say, tail whipping from the Most High from like 70 AD even up until now. I mean, it's their time, and the issue with them is that I wouldn't want to be in their shoes because it even says that they will even call death fair and can't get it. Like we didn't have to be faced with that, where you can't even die. You got to live. That is serious. And
Exactly.
you know, we that's the love that the Father has for us. He did not it was chastisement for us, even though it was brutal, and it is brutal. You know what I also look at too about, let's go back to leaving this place. I look at all the things like Ahmaud Arbery. When I look at that, when I see that right there just make me like, we got to get out of here. I mean, even up until now, I mean, because remember Emmett Till and all those ones before him, but even in our time where they got it on camera, and we had to march and fight and do all that to get them for what was obvious. They hunted this man down like he was an animal and killed him. A young man in his prime, beautiful, melanated. And just to see the circus, it's like, if that don't wake our people up to say, the Almighty is not allowing us to be comfortable here. Like, he has blessed us in our captivity, but he didn't bless us to remain when it's time to go, to be comfortable. It's like that. So he allows things to arouse us to sort of show that, look, this is not the place that you're supposed to be. This is a punishment. And so these things keep happening and we get all upset and everything. But I'm like, yeah, I mean, I came to the conclusion that no, he has to allow us to go through things so we can look to him and realize that you're not supposed to, love your land of captivity and want to stay and love it. And no, because I'm gonna judge this place. So I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. I'm gonna allow you to see things that's gonna strike fear in you, pain and sorrow. Yeah, that's just it. That's how I see things.
All right. So I'm gonna start wrapping on up here. Brother Hariel, then Brother Betzel, and I'll leave I'll leave the pond for the last. Final comments.
Well, man, brother Karras, I want to thank you for opening up the panel for me to finally get on here because I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you every day, really on the weekdays, man. You start my morning off in the morning. Like you just don't know how far this go, man. This little, you know what I'm saying, taking that time out to go ahead and do something. You talking to me right before I'm getting on the highway. I'm a truck driver, you know what I'm saying? Like I can listen to that's why sometimes I'll be typing. You'll just even see
Oh
me
boy,
just be
somebody on I-10. Y'all need to be careful when you're driving through Louisiana.
What's the insurance company called, Karis? What's the insurance company? You need to
Oh,
be
Yo Fault.
reminding some
Ario, you
Israelites.
can make that claim at Yo Fault Insurance.
right. Look, and I ain't gonna lie, I do have to be chilling out because sometimes when I be typing my little laughing emojis, I be driving. So you know what I'm saying?
Oh
So,
boy, safety. Look at you better not be saying the OSHA. No, I'm just.
it's okay. It's all, oh, you're right. Let me not say that on here. But they do be watching, huh? So let me not say that on
Siri has uploaded.
Wow. Like it. Wow.
But,
don't worry, you'll have that robot jobbing assistant right next to you. You'll be all right in 6 months. No,
you're right. No, but look, like I said, man, love this channel, man. I thank y'all for getting up here, man, and it's real good. It feels good to just chop it up with family, man. This is an outlet to where we can come here and have a safe spot to where we can actually just voice out and talk to each other. I love talking to my sister Chantel, obviously all day. You know, we chop it up, and actually getting to talk to you, brother Karras, and brother, how you say now? I don't want to mess up your name, brother.
Bestwell.
Bestwell, man. Love talking to y'all and everybody else that was up here on the channel.
Back
I
at
love
you,
talking to y'all, man, and it's all love, man, because this is a channel, y'all, that we just can be free, y'all, and really, you know what I'm saying, and get that word in the morning, man, and I was just happy that I'm here to be a part of it, and Israel, stay up, man, stay. I don't want to say stay woke because woke means so many other things today now, but just stay up, man, because we living in some serious times, you know what I'm saying? Passover coming. And if you read Passover, for everybody talking about it ain't no flea doctrine or whatever, when you eat that Passover meal.
What was the purpose of Passover? You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's like
yeah.
you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, they say
You're a hypocrite.
you supposed to eat it like you getting ready to go. You're supposed to eat it girded up with your stick and like you're getting ready to leave. So everybody stay girded up, man, and be ready, man. That's all I got. Love y'all, Israel.
All right,
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, brother Betzel.
All right. So yeah, thank you again, brother Karras, for allowing me in today, and I just appreciate you and the family. I want to run this scripture right here. It says in 27:12, because I think your platform is really speaking to us, really, gearing up to leave. So it says, a prudent sees danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. Proverbs 27:12. We can see all this stuff going down, and I'm saying for those who are still listening, like, okay, if the dollar is now being discarded, and so now we won't be able to borrow because they're like, you're not going to be able to pay back because your dollar is worthless. So we won't be able to borrow or be able to get loans. I'm talking about the nation. Everything here is being poisoned to the point where as though it's going to be unedible, we can't drink or whatever. But yet we're not going to be able to get imports. When the president was sending people over, or talking about sending the vice president over to talk to the African nations, and they were like ignoring them for imports. So we'd be able to get stuff in here. How are we going to be able to get anything in here when people are not going to take our money? So we're it's tightening up big time, and it's going to close up real fast, and that's where the famine is going to come. That's why our minds have to be set on leaving this place. Even if you're not ready, your mind should be set on. You should be looking to the Most High and looking for what He has for you, how He's going to deliver you out of it. That's just from all the evidence that I look at and the conclusion that I come to. So yeah, I'll end right there. But thanks again, and I enjoy you, and Sister Chantal, I enjoy you, and y'all have a good day.
Shalom, bro.
All right. Shalom. Shalom. On the eve of this Shabbat. Hallelujah. Sister Chantal.
Hey.
Matter of fact, what was your question, Sister Chantal? Did you have a question? What was your question?
Well, I just wanted to say I wanted to give a testimony,
you know, I was gonna have to get ignorant right there. I'm sorry, family. I told you I make no qualms about being ignorant. All right, if you can't stand my ignorance, this channel ain't for you.
Okay? I think we're like we're the twins. We just hit each other and charge each other up like.
I'm ignorant, you's ignorant, we's ignorant. Hey. No.
Let's join the party. Hey. It's Friday. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Again, it's always a blast. I love coming in here. We all have to learn. We learn from each other. We learn from the Most High. We learn from the Holy Spirit. It's just having the discernment to actually hear when He speaks, and none of us are above correction. And I'm kind of stubborn as well, but I have learned how to try and put the Most High first. I'm still trying. So I'm not there yet. But I just love when we come together. I love learning things. I love learning about who we are and about all of you, and just sharing. And for me, although don't get it twisted, the Bible and the Most High, everything about Him comes first and everything. But one of the things that always interested me was, what was Israel like on the day to day? What were they doing? What were they like? I know we know about I don't want to say the religious side of things, but you know what I mean, the spiritual side of things. We know what they were like in terms of, their laws, statutes, and commandments. But what were they like on their everyday, when they were just being easy and just, natural with each other? And that's, for me, it's like, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in what their day-to-day life was like. If it was like this, if we're just coming together and just chilling out and laughing, hugging, and just enjoying each other. And I don't see, there's some people that are like, oh, you guys are you're always making joke. But it's like, are we supposed to be solemn and crying? And we have moments of those. Sometimes we'll go through all the different emotions in one show. Mm-hmm. We have so many. That's the one thing about coming here. We're never bored. We literally go through so many topics, and half the times we never stick to the original topic. I swear it was about a question. What? Right? Was it? Maybe. I don't know. But it's just it's wonderful. It's exciting just being here. So I look forward to it, and it's like, God, given how quickly things are speeding up, it's like it's going to be like a few hours when I'll see you guys again next week, Monday or whatever, So enjoy your Sabbath, enjoy your rest, enjoy being around each other, and it's going to be different seeing each other face to face. And sometimes we need to remember to just be, not to be so quick to get angry with one another. Because if we want the Most High to acknowledge us and to forgive us, then we also have to be the same way with each other, So patience. And I understand how weird that sounds coming out of my mouth, because like I said, I'm really not a patient person, but that is something that we all need to have and demonstrate as well, because we expect it from others. And if we expect it from others, then we need to be able to give it as well. So
Amen.
just wanted to say, have a great weekend, and I'll see you all next week in the chat.
Amen. Let the church say amen.
Amen.
All right. Thank you, Sister Chantel. All right, family. That's all I got to say. I got to wrap it on up. Most time willing, I'll be back on Monday. Don't forget to check out our other channels. I know Sister Brandy's channel changed to Hebrew Perspectives. That's the title. So check her on out. I know we have Red Letter Wrapped. We have Stay on Fire Ministries. We have Pastor Rick Fletcher. There's so many channels, and I try to make sure that I get them all in, because we are a community. We're building this thing day in and day out, which is great. But at the same time, we all know we're getting ready to see some major changes. See, and none of those changes are done on our accord. That's the crazy thing about it. All we can do here is just witness and watch and speak truth in peace. So, with that said, family, with that, shalom, salama, siemi, shalom, peace and blessings. Yasharel.